brief excerpt?
I'm going to take it down a different road.
Okay, sure.
Super gaming best friends. Super gaming best friends. We're a group of men and we like playing vid games. Come and join us this evening. We'll tell you all about it. Super gaming best friends. Super gaming best friends.
Commitment to the craft. Chris Gaines, everyone.
Oh, and it's time for another Super Gaming Best Friends. Somewhere in the world, it is Tuesday, April 23rd, 2013. Everywhere in the world, I'm Josh Lee, your host. Joining me tonight, you won't believe who I've got with me here. Justin Lacey.
Woo-hoo!
Oh, my God.
I made it.
I can't
First
believe
time.
you're actually here.
Long time, first time.
I was hoping you weren't going to come.
Yeah, no, you were. Every time.
No, I don't mean that. It's all you. It brightens my day when you leave.
I came back around on that and was immediately destroyed again.
Sorry. So
Happy to be
here.
here.
Yeah, how's it going? I like what you're doing with the beard.
Yeah, except I got this little.
Since I don't have one.
I got a little.
Having trouble?
Little bald spot won't connect. It's really aggravating.
What do you use to trim that?
I've got a mustache trimmer and.
You have two things.
Mm-hmm.
You use an electric razor for the shavy parts, or do you have the? Okay. I just ordered a new beard trimmer so I can have a beard again because mine broke, and you can't do it without. Like you can't just take scissors and like trim an entire.
So when
beard.
you don't have a beard trimmer, you have the uncontrollable urge to just shave your entire face.
Yes, it just happens. Plus, I hate my face. So, like, if I want to do anything about it, like, I'm gonna try to like lose a couple of pounds because my face, all the weight goes to my face.
I understand.
Well, like a couple of places,
all my soda weight goes to my face.
Yeah. And what are you drinking? What is that?
Just Coke.
Not diet though.
No.
All you have to do is just like add a little prefix on, and suddenly that fixes all your problems.
I will probably transition. I bought a new case of like. There's probably like 20 in here of Sprecher's soda. And
Spreckers or
I don't know.
I don't think it's ch.
Spretchlers?
It's got a CH in it.
Spritzers?
We'll call Spreckers is
Sprinkles?
fine, whatever. Anyway, as soon as I'm done with that, we're going back to the habit of kicking soda for 3 months and then giving up and coming back to it, and then 3 months later. It's kind of been my cycle lately, on again, off again every 3 months. But Sprecher's soda, really, really good. Cherry cola, top notch. Root beer is really good too.
You guys in the chat know, is this ch or k on that? Somebody can look it up while we're.
They have I want to go to their brewery. Or they actually.
Is that what they call a place that makes soda?
I think they also make.
Sodery?
I don't know.
Sodery. Come on down to Spretchler's Sodery with all my friends. We're making soda. We have all kinds of flavors. We've got mountain berry. We've got blueberry. We've got raspberry. We've got all kinds of berries in our sodas.
Even made up berries.
They're all fruity flavors. I don't want any of these. I'm not going to drink this soda.
Well, what kind of flavor do you want? You want something like
cola,
like tangy?
Cherry cola. That's what I have.
No cherry. I just want cola.
They have that.
Wait, what fruit is cola? Serious question.
There's no, but molasses.
Nose
I don't
candy.
know. I don't think there's. Yeah, it's not a. Well, like okay, Dr. Pepper is like
All
plum or what? No, plums.
Yes.
Mountain Dew is piss.
It's terrible.
And Big Red
is
gum. Yes, it's gum flavored soda.
Gum flavored soderies. Or now I'm going to call soda soderies from now on. God damn it.
Ethan Moses is here.
Thank God. I'd be more confused
everyone.
without him.
He's a screenwriter. Did you know that?
Found out today, actually.
Today on HorribleNight.com, fine website, purveyor of written
wonderful fan fiction,
horse shit, and fine
a lot
meats.
of fan fiction. It's a fan fiction website that also has video reviews and news every once in a while, but mostly fanfic.
I think we're headed in that direction.
I loved your Contra movie script excerpt. There was more to the article, but that was the thing that's still with me 2 hours later. I was, you know what? I was gonna print out copies of it, and I was gonna do a reenactment on the show, but I forgot about it until just now, so we can't do that. It's Channing Tatum is Bill Reiser, and Tom Hardy is Lance Bean. Mm-hmm. And who plays Captain Axel Willis?
Ajax Willis.
Ajax Willis. Sorry.
Actually, Michael Dudikoff.
I thought he was black though.
No. Why would you get that impression? Ajax?
Yeah, he's the captain. He's like the guy in charge. I just assumed that happens. Like in these kinds of fictions.
I guess it could be. There's a number of different. Maybe in my mind it was Michael Dudikoff.
But that's fine. I'm not trying to tell you your own shit is
but
wrong.
Here's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying in my head that's what I saw.
My Contra movie. Here's how I do my Contra movie: is even though you can see the actor on the screen that's portraying Captain Ajax Willis, it could be anybody you wanted it to be. Like you could close your eyes during those scenes, and it could be Samuel L. Jackson, or it could be. Denzel Washington, maybe even. He's gonna.
No. He's
got some time.
See,
he's got time.
Somebody, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a Ving Rhames.
He's got some time.
I don't know how he would do in a scene like that.
Making zombie movies. That's all he does now. Is make zombie movies.
Hey,
he's been in.
Is this the part of the show 15. Where we just name black actors?
Hang on, no. What? I was actually. What? No, you don't get that one.
That's at the end of the show.
But listen, Ving Rhames was in. I was talking with Giftor and some other folks online about Aquaman today because we were giving Aquaman some shit during our Injustice stream.
Was this before or after the highlight clip?
I don't know what brought it on. Gifford brought it up. I don't know why, but he just said something like, "Why is everyone always hating on Aquaman?" And people think of like the Super Friends, Aquaman or whatever. It's like, he's whispering to dolphins and stuff like that, and that's pretty lame. I mean, it's in that, yeah, it's lame. And Jonathan Brandis was doing that, and like you don't want to be associated with him. And
is that because he's dead?
And yes, not because he was in Sequest, because that was a great show, but yes, because he's
not
dead.
that funny. Sorry.
And you laugh really hard at that. Jesus, Justin. Jonathan Brandis died. Way too young.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I just remembered that there was an Aquaman TV show pilot that was shot and not aired, but I watched it because I got it on the internet.
How bad does your pilot have to be to not even make it to air?
I know. Well, it happens a lot, actually.
Wait, yeah, actually, that makes
it happened to Heat Vision and Jack, and that wasn't should have been on there. But yeah, Ving Rhames was like the like what's it? Arthur's butler, basically. Like he was like a tough. He was a beat 'em up kind of guy. But it was like, what's Batman's shit? Alfred. He was like Arthur's Alfred.
Okay,
that makes sense. Like Aquaman's Alfred. So, but he was also like a soldier and stuff like that. But I think he was going to be that role, like the advisor. And
did
that kind of thing.
Aquaman's parents drown?
And I don't remember. I don't remember really any of the details, except it was like modern day, and the guy playing Aquaman was the guy who played Green Arrow on Smallville.
Oh.
And so like, well, that's not going to work, but we'll give you this one because we like you. And
we don't like you enough to not give you Aquaman.
But yeah, whatever. Back to the Contra movie. So Ethan came up with a couple of problems though with this film. I'm gonna bring these up.
Okay.
Two things. One, how do you portray the gun capsules? And then two was how do these guys die? Like what happens? Like they can't like have extra lives. They
or
can
steal
only
each
die.
Other's lives. Or
right. Otherwise, in his opening scene, when Captain Ajax Willis dies, spoiler. then he would have just taken one of their lives and he would have come back.
I thought he solved the weapons thing. I like the inclusion of there's just drones flying over, and sometimes they drop and do an equipment
That's
drop.
too random, or it's also kind of like, I mean, how... do they have like an oracle back? They have a base, then they're like radioing in, like, I need a spread gun. Like, that seems a little bit lame. It's got to be more like in the moment, like, hey, there's a thing, I'm going to take it.
What if
they're going to take the shit they need? They're not going to be getting handouts.
What if this future military employs all the quarterbacks of the defunct NFL at that point, and they're throwing power-ups to them?
Just throwing bombs.
Why would the NFL be defunct at that point?
Because the war is just taking over. There's fucking aliens, man. Aliens are invading. No time for football. I'm sorry. That's when.
Well, that's what happened to the Coltrane. I mean, we know that. I mean, he couldn't play. What it was, a blitzball, bashball,
hammerball.
Blitzball was Final Fantasy.
Whatever. He went from football to
in Battlestar Galactica. They kept playing football.
What was that triangle?
Starship Troopers as well.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's the same shit. Yeah, see, a lot of sport. Flash Gordon, they have football in the future. Well, that was.
Do you think though? I think all of those
space.
Don't they merge all of their sports into one, like?
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to pool together your equipment and stuff. I mean,
which is why we need to destroy soccer now.
Do you think it'd be soccer?
It's got the numbers.
No, you need too big of a space. I mean, football, you kind of need a bigger space too, but you could just do like single plays. It really needs to be like a ball that you jam into a hole. Like it's got to be. I
would never argue against that.
What about that Rutger Hauer film from the 80s, like Blood of Heroes? That was like a future sport, wasn't that? Like a bloody football? Weren't they jamming a ball into a hole and killing each other?
I need to see this to confirm now.
Was it like Mutant League?
They weren't mutants, but it was like Mad Max
no,
style.
Like mutants, but it was like.
I think so.
Okay,
I think.
have to look that up.
Maybe Blood of Heroes. Yeah, go watch that. It's probably not on Netflix.
I did. Chat reminded me. We're actually talking about the plot of Basketball. That's what happened.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Solve that problem.
Yeah, I don't think Basketball would last in. When
have you ever played basketball?
When Red Falcon's invading.
Have you ever played basketball?
Have you ever played it while you're getting shot at?
No. Well, Nerf guns.
It's a little bit tough.
We used a lot of props.
So American Gladiators, some of those games would work. What were you going to say, Ethan?
Ooh, I would like that. Well, I had actually, and this is, aside from looking in the future, I did a Photoshop of this situation, and I gotta say, it's really, really tough to find pictures of dudes with their shirts off. It's very difficult, and I actually realized I spent about 3 hours today trying to find pictures of Tom Hardy and Channing Tatum without shirts on, looking tough. And Aubrey came home. She's like, "Oh, what'd you do today?" And I hesitated to explain to her the process that I went through to create my Photoshop movie poster. And at the end of the day, it kind of was a sexy poster. So I don't talking fanfic here. I don't know if the demographic I was going for is necessarily going to flock to my movie based on that poster alone. I might need some help.
I thought it was pretty good, but let me tell you about a site called Tumblr.com.
There's no E in that. There's no E in that.
Have you heard of that website? Because I think that's where you probably need to go for those photos. Someone has a site. Someone has a blog dedicated.
I'm just gonna guess. You can probably go to fuckyeahmenwithoutshirts.tumblr.com.
That's probably an actual site.
Okay, and I will. I just.
And if not,
really
you should.
If I want to find boobs, it's a flood of boobs on the internet. I mean,
maybe there's lingo that you don't know about or that we don't know about for looking for that stuff.
I'm just not convinced he knows how to use a search engine.
I mean, maybe it's not shirtless men. Maybe they've got a, like there's
I was real standard. I was real missionary in terms of like describing it. I was like a pilgrim, like muscular men without their shirts on, but not naked. It was like this long sentence. And so yeah, it was
and if you were a connoisseur of that kind of thing, that's not what you would call it. You would have you just one word, and it'd be, I don't know what it is.
Buffkins.
Yeah, it could be Buffkins. That's actually, I would believe that. Buffkins.tumblr.com.
Look it up. Oh no, copyright, patent right. What do we have to do to preserve that? Because I want to
look at the patent site again for Buffkins.
Yeah, check that out. Yeah, if anyone takes that, what is it, Buffkins?
Yeah.
Don't take Buffkins because we own that. I'll sue you. I love
Write
you
yourself
all.
a letter,
I'll
damn
sue
it.
the shit out of you.
Sizzle chest would be maybe the one I would think maybe actually exists already.
Sizzle chest.
Yeah.
Buffkins is in the clear.
No Buffkins?
Yes.
What about just Google Buffkins? What it comes up? I'm afraid.
Ooh, this is...
It sounds like a Pokemon.
The query sizzle chest is unparsable.
Whoa!
I don't even know what that means. Buffkins. Whoa, shit. There's a LinkedIn profile for Buffkins.
Oh my God! There's a person named Buffkins. Like, is that their last name?
Buffkins. He's a cricket player.
Of course. What? What's it look like without his shirt on?
The meaning of Buffkins
is he shirtless
is
on
unknown.
his LinkedIn?
Let me check it out.
Buffkins has a Facebook presence of 15,000 pages.
Oh,
I'm searching on the wrong site.
Junaid Buffkins.
This is happening live. We normally don't like to do research live, but if it's important like this, and we're kind of pioneering a little bit, so.
You can't tell. He's really hiding that bod behind all of this.
Here's a bunch of people
equipment
on LinkedIn with the last name Buffkins.
There's a bunch. There's a whole family of Buffkins.
It's not funny anymore.
You tell me in chat. You tell us.
Wow.
You tell us if.
Sorry, LaRachel.
Damn it! I can't believe this. This is real. Okay, let's just move on because
she's a resume writer. You want to reach out?
Nah, she can't ever know about this conversation. We think your name sounds like shirtless men. I think she may be highly offended by that. Or not. I don't know. So what's going on with you guys? Who has an exciting adventure story about being in Germany?
Oh, I do.
Oh, Ethan, you go and take this one. Sorry.
So, So, Justin, do you have an adventure Germany story?
No.
Do you want to tell?
He doesn't. No,
Okay.
he doesn't.
I'll go ahead and tell mine then. I don't want to, I'll go ahead and tell mine. So I went to Quedlinburg this past weekend.
You made that up.
A medieval village that's maybe 2 hours away from me, and oh my God, was it delightful!
Was it like a Ren fair?
I had a really nice time. Come again?
Like a Ren fair kind of thing? Renaissance fair? Is that what you mean by medieval?
No. It was like a literal, actual medieval village. It's been around since 900 AD, I believe. I walked around in a castle. I drank a bunch of beers in a castle. I was in a castle drinking beers, which was awesome. And it made me realize that I should have been a king because I would have done that so well. I literally had at one point, I felt like, actually, I think that when you go into a castle, the king juice that's just floating around actually gets inside of you because I had 2 ice cream sundaes and a beer, and I just sat there and just kind of like, like I'm doing this thing with my
like King Conan.
Like, tell me your queries. Oh, and I don't know.
Not King Conan. Okay.
Oh man, it was great. I had a good time. There's a lot of cool little places like that are real old. I went inside a crypt. Spooky, but not too spooky because it was sunlight out. We liked that. And great. Quedlinburg, I recommend it, definitely.
Who are the people that keep these things in their original condition?
That's a huge thing over here. Actually, I think the government actually puts a lot of money back to make sure that shit gets taken care of because they like their stuff old. And that's where all the tourists come from. Yeah.
So they get you paid for that tour, like that was a tourist attraction.
Yeah, but it was like $7. It wasn't bad at all.
Actually, going
to the town didn't cost anything. But it wasn't. No, it wasn't bad at all. I mean, you saw a cool castle. But the thing here is I realized that they like here in America when things get kind of like old, we're like tear it down. They don't really do that over here so much. They like to keep stuff up, keep stuff looking pristine. So I respect that. And I mean, you can't walk around in a castle in America because we took all of our castles down back in the 1200s. When did we come over here and colonize? was 1200, wasn't it? 1200 AD.
Yep.
When the Pilgrims and Christopher Ferdinand came over, and they did made that agreement
Pangea.
with the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was fun. I had a good time.
So okay, that's nothing like crazy happened while you were in there.
Much of an adventure.
Well, the last time you were in like a place that was of history, I guess that you
try to face in a jar.
Yeah, you basically ran into
that
a
didn't
murder
happen
house,
doom house,
a doom house.
It was I feel bad. Like that's why I hate traveling here, because you find one doom house, you're not going to find another doom house. That's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And if you do find that second doom house, you'll probably die. Like you shouldn't survive those the first time.
You don't get a second shot.
I feel disappointed because when you said you have a German adventure story, I was excited to tell you, but then there was something in the back of my mind that said, "Wait a second, Ethan, don't get too enthusiastic because this is not going to end with another doom house story, and they're going to be disappointed, and you're going to let everybody down."
I thought didn't it end with an allergy attack? I think you were miserable on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty bad. Sunday was bad. But, that's kind of a Doom House situation, I think. When Doom House is a thing now. I like that.
Life,
I'm in.
man.
Well, just next time, lie a little bit at the end of the story.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind.
Well, you know that I didn't lie about that last story because this story had a lot more foundation for lies to come from it. But,
Like you could have been in a duel, maybe?
I kind of was in a duel because I went to the bathroom and then I walked towards a stall at the same time as another dude, and we kind of like made eye contact, but I'm pretty sheepish, so I just kind of walked out. So
I went in. It's funny you mentioned two guys going to the bathroom. I went into a bathroom that had two urinals and one toilet, and there was a dude at the urinal and no one at the toilet. So, I'm thinking like I'm gonna go to the toilet because I don't want to stand right by this dude.
I've played that game.
But then I go in there and then I hear only one person come in, and the guy comes up and he like knocks on he was like in a hurry knocking on the toilet door. He's got to poop, and I felt so bad. And I'm like, I already just about ready to go here. Like I'm not gonna just. I mean, what do I do? What do I say? What do I do? Like, oh, sorry, dude. I'm like, if he looks under there and sees my feet facing that way,
he's got other problems.
He knows, yeah. So, and then the same place about like an hour or two later, for a couple of drinks later, right? I go back to this same bathroom, and there are it's a similar kind of situation, but there's some people that are obviously just leaving. Somebody that I thought was walking up to the one occupied urinal, so I'm like, well, I have to go to the toilet this time, right? And but the dude that went up to the other urinal said, and I didn't look at it because I didn't want to know, but he was like, oh, what the heck? What's wrong with this? Apparently there was a clogged urinal. And like I'm not saying that the dude had to take a crap in this urinal, but just like I was like, oh God, oh no.
You forced a grown man to unsheath his buttocks upon a urinal.
Maybe with another. I'm not saying it happened, but I don't know for sure. But
it is a
that guy cried. That guy bawled his eyes out as he sat in that urinal, and everybody walked in and saw him shitting in it because he had no option.
You can't. It's gotta lean. You would have to lean onto it. You couldn't even sit on it. There's not enough sticking out.
That's a hover moment.
Unless you got. Oh no, you got to get close though.
Being down in IU, and there's a bar that they have one toilet and then a urinal, but there's no stall around the toilet.
That's awful.
I had to take a dump, and I took one. I took a big one.
Did you lock the door?
But it was a long, drawn out process because that tends to happen with me. And maybe 15 minutes, and people kept coming in and talking to me and chit chat with me.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, it was bad. But I was drunk enough at that point. I was like, I'm going to give them guidance from the toilet. And then from that point on, they called me guidance toilet guy. I was like, God damn it.
That's awful. Like they have to put a lock on the door. It's like if that's a one person bathroom at that point. If there's two things to go into and no doors on the inside, that's for one person.
Yep.
Like they
It's
did
like
it wrong.
restaurant designers
should be the
have
law.
this, like preconceived notion that you should not shit in their bathroom.
No.
Right.
That's kind of a thing. They're not set up to poop.
Well, no one wants to clean it.
I'm sorry, dude. Sometimes it happens. Trust me. I prefer pooping at home. Trust me.
Yeah.
They're just bored and they want to create sociological experiments within the restaurant. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Obviously.
See how people negotiate.
That's it.
They're gonna have an experiment on their
situations.
fucking stools if they don't watch it.
Somewhere there's a VHS tape of you in there.
Probably.
On Twin
Yeah,
Galaxies.
that's
And the
gonna be like
tracking's
if
all
I ever
messed
try
up
to
because
run
it's been
for
played
president.
so many times.
They're gonna be like, a candidate Ethan Moses was just he had all these votes, and then they found this this video of him pooping on a toilet and giving people guidance from a long time ago.
Yeah, he got more votes.
More votes. Well, yeah, I'd hope it would work
ToiletTapes.com.
out like that, but this is America. People hate it when you poop.
Fuck yeah, toilet
When
tapes.
people find out
Tumblr.
you poop, they will not vote for you.
No.
That's what happened to McCain.
We're such prudes. Yeah. What I thought when you got older, you like. Wait, no. I don't. Do you have trouble going, or do you just go too much? Is that the?
I think you go too much. I think that's the impression I get.
You lose the
yeah.
okay. You lose control. It's a muscular thing. You lose muscles give out over time as we get older. Hey, Justin, what's up?
I didn't go anywhere. I don't have poop stories. I've had poop.
It doesn't have to be about
You
that.
don't
my own
know
home.
what's have poop stories. You can poop stories at home, dude, in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
I've been watching just random. I'm like in between shows, so just still browsing for new shows. I tried out Veep, which is an HBO
What?
comedy.
Oh,
I don't recommend that one.
You like comedies?
I was trying to mix it up. I'm like watching Game of Thrones and Mad Men, and I've got my hour-long dramas.
Oh yeah, Mad Men's
covered.
back. Yeah.
And that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I really got into. I don't know why. Like last season wasn't all that good, but
Yeah, it's not that great.
But I was in the mood for it for some reason. So.
Once you're in there,
Yeah.
dialogue's good.
And then
about
so
it.
Sunday night started watching a couple episodes of Hemlock Grove, which is the second Netflix produced show.
Oh,
It's produced by Eli Roth
of
Hostel.
Cabin Fever fan.
yes.
So
Hey, that was pretty good.
I knew it was going to be kind of. I actually expected like a horror slasher, American Horror Story type show, but it actually starts off with kind of a Twin Peaks kind of vibe because there's a murder in town and it seems kind of like the Northwest and focused on like
Larry
high school age
Palmer.
kids and they, but it turns a little bit supernatural and I don't know how I feel about it. Like it's really. It's very self-serious, so it's kind of one of those whether you have to buy into it or you might consider it stupid. But I was kind of getting into it, but it almost feels like an MTV show at the same time. But I don't know. I'm only a couple episodes in.
MTV.
Yeah, like I started.
What's
for
that
some
mean?
reason. Okay, so
Music television?
like I said, they have this. They have this
In this day and age?
They have this supernatural element to the show, and then this might have been tied to the fact that I've been doing some research for Ethan and I's Photoshop contest, and I ended up looking up a bunch of Teen Wolf photos, and then I realized that MTV had a recent run of their own version of Teen Wolf, and that
Oh God, I forgot. Okay,
so that's what I mean. Like it's like
which you watched, obviously. You made the connection, and
No,
it wasn't from the searching. You
No, I
don't
was-
get
no.
it. No,
I was
no,
upset.
don't lie.
I was upset.
Don't lie.
Tell me you wouldn't be upset when you do searches for Teen Wolf and you get all the MTV stuff and not
That's
the two
dumb.
gentlemen that you're actually.
I mean, I hope the first image I get is somebody surfing on a van. And it doesn't even have to be Teen Wolf. It is someone on a van.
So I can't confirm or deny that the Hemlock Grove's like Teen Wolf on MTV, but I was like, there's a line there that it's closer to that than say like Supernatural or True Blood. Like, so I don't know. I'm only 2 episodes in, but the thing about these Netflix shows, and they did this with House of Cards, when the show comes out, they just here's the season,
Yep.
which is
Just dump
brilliant. But I don't know. Check it out. I'm gonna stick with.
Check.
I'm gonna
Check
try
it
a couple
out.
more episodes. It's I don't know. It's another supernatural show. Beats Twin Peaks.
Stay away from real life Hemlock though, because it'll kill you.
Oh, wait, did you just look that up? Or did you know that?
No, I knew that.
Okay.
That's a poison.
I didn't know.
Used a lot in the medieval times.
The secret world.
Oh, I know where you learned that. During your
King's
reign
Quest.
as king. Your real life King's Quest you just went on. You told us about.
There's also been an influx of good video game music lately that I think you'd be interested in. There are 2 remix albums for Fez. One just came out, and it's the day after that it came out.
Who did that?
It's like it's like Disaster Piece put it together with a bunch of other chiptunes artists. And then there's going to be a second one. So that's kind of cool. And then I stumbled across one of our other favorites, Mega Beardo, who did the Belmont concept album, the metal. He did 5 or 6 tracks from Legend of Zelda. It's all instrumental, but still like just that's the most metal I've ever heard Zelda.
How did you stop listening to the Daft Punk track?
I don't like disco. I don't like that song.
What? How do you? You don't like to dance?
Right.
I forgot.
Not at my.
Ethan,
Do you like to dance?
Ethan, have you heard that?
Do you like to have fun? Do you like to dance? Do you like to have fun? Do you like to dance? Dance. Dance fun.
If you're not watching, I'm dancing.
Everybody was so excited about Daft Punk. What?
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
Oh
Daft
man,
Punk
you
is
sound
here.
like an
You
angry
make me
German
die.
guy. You're turning into.
I know.
Oh,
I
no.
really am. I got to watch that. Yeah.
You can. They won't let
Daft
you come
Punk.
back. No, it's just you can't not dance to this new song. Oh man, Starbound soundtrack.
Is it leaked or?
No, it's up for pre-order, which extremely generous individuals in chat right now. Thank you very much. When you pre-order, you get the soundtrack right now, and it's like the full soundtrack, and it's like this. It's real, like ambient kind of space. Like if you search on YouTube for space ambient trance or something or whatever, there's not like a lot of beats to it, but it's the Terraria soundtrack was real chill, and this just kind of matches that theme, like you're exploring space and you're whatever in alien worlds and stuff. Man, it's the kind of thing you can listen to just to relax. Like I could just relax to this. I could just take off my pants and just like lie on the floor and just like put
As one is to do.
a couple of cats on my chest and just like doze off,
Keep going.
That's it. That's all you do. That's the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
For me,
Oh, yeah.
for others.
Aside from sleeping with cats, what'd you do this weekend?
Hey, I watched the Zombieland pilot on Amazon.
I have not heard any good things.
It sucked.
How do you make that show after The Walking Dead takes off?
Here's what you don't do. Exactly what they did, which is the 4 characters from the movie, recast them and try to make them funny, and it looks like a fan film. People on YouTube
Really?
would probably not claim this. It's so dumb. It is extremely dumb. If they just done, it's in this world, but it's different people. It has a chance at least. But you do not replace these actors, and they try. And there's like within like the first 20 minutes, there's like a serious kind of not like a love scene, but a talk between between the Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone's characters, which aren't played by them.
Played by Michael Cera and Lindsay Lohan.
Right. I would watch that. And it's like real. It's trying to be kind of serious, and I'm like, oh god, it fell straight on its face instantly.
It's a good start.
It's bad. Don't waste your time.
That makes no sense. I mean, the world that they created for Zombieland it's just zombies. It's nothing different,
When's the last
you
time
kind of need that cast.
When's the last time you heard Josh describe something that he didn't really like or didn't think that was really any good, that he didn't have a big elaborate story behind and actually convince you to try it out? That says something about how bad this show has to be. Because
there are no stories. Yeah, it's just bad. Don't watch it. It's dumb.
Sorry you wasted your time.
But then my time was redeemed by watching the latest episode of Defiance.
I haven't seen the second one.
That show, damn it, it's not good, but I'm going to watch every episode of that thing.
While it's still here for 6 episodes.
So, no, they've already paid for the full season.
Yeah.
They spent like $100 million.
Well, Dodge paid for half of it.
So dumb, yeah. Oh, shit. That guy, like, everything about it, it's so just, it's like all but done before. All the characters, though, the characters are just hilarious. Like the main guy, he actually does a good job. What's his name? Grant Bowlers. I hadn't ever seen him in anything, but everything about him is just generic action hero. He's like the guy that would play the generic action hero in a movie about real action heroes. Then you'd see him on TV in the spoof, and like that's like, and but he does a good job. He actually plays it pretty well, and some of the dialogue is straight out of the game. I mean, it has to be the same writers, and I do not mean that as any sort of compliment whatsoever.
Well, I think I kind of said that I felt like the game felt like TV writers wrote for the game versus it feeling like natural game dialogue. Yeah. But that doesn't bode well for the show necessarily either.
I think it depends on and on the show, it depends on who's delivering it, because the guy who's playing, was it Rafe McCauley? The dude who's, by the way, not Native American. He's Native Canadian. I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, obviously it had to have been a thing, but like I've never heard anyone use that term.
Wait, Native Canadian? Wouldn't that be American?
Well, you would think, like
we're the
North
United
America,
States of America.
Yeah,
except North America.
Yeah,
hey,
I guess
the guy has he has control of his own IMDb page. It's on there. Look it up. It says Native Canadian. He's got some
Native American. Excuse me. I've never heard that.
Yeah, he doesn't want. He wants no association whatsoever. It's just there's only Canada.
There is only Canada.
But his kids, I think, might be the exact same, and timeless, obviously, because they haven't aged. But they might be the same kids that Randy Quaid had in Independence Day. I think those are the same kids. But yeah, like the aliens are fun, and everyone's playing it like so serious. Like Julie Benz, she's gone all in on that. She's
all right.
She's trying so hard. Like everyone is really trying.
Her sister's kind of weird. Like there's something.
Oh, Mia Kirshner. Yeah, but she's like, I've actually seen her and stuff. Like, oh yeah, I know her. I knew her name before it showed it. I don't know why, but she was on 24, and I was kind of really like 24, but I've seen her in other shit. Anyways, so the effects are not too bad especially for a Sci-Fi Channel show. It's like pretty good. Like this, you could tell they put money into it, and like some of the action stuff is kind of fun, and everybody likes Han Solo, and that's that's kind of story, and that's what this is really. I mean, he's basically Han Solo. It's fun. It's dumb fun, just like the game. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think the game is good. Like not really. Like in like that critical kind of way. Like I wouldn't sit there and and try to say like we're gonna remember Defiance in 25 years. This is a game. I wouldn't say that, but I have fun with it. I keep playing it. I was playing it.
There's
before
room
you came
for
over.
it, and I think our review anymore is just why not. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching the show. Just I don't know, why not?
Yeah, you know what? I
would
watch.
Dedicate a whole weekend to it. Just watch them all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you do it. Yeah. So how are you? Can you not watch the show at all? Is there no way for you to watch it?
I haven't really put any sort of effort into it. I mean, there's nothing from the game that like makes me want to. I mean, I need to for the sake of doing it, but like there's nothing that's like prompting me to put effort into it.
Amazon has it.
I don't know.
So
streaming.
Have you guys seen the new episode missions in the game?
I haven't logged in since the show started.
So I couldn't find them.
Oh.
I didn't know how. And I did a couple of searches online, and I
just
didn't
show up
see.
on your map or something?
Well, they did originally. When you first start playing, the episode missions pop up as their own icon.
They had some issues. Like they were down this weekend. They're still
2 different sessions. I played several missions. They never popped up.
I think they're chugging along a little bit right now. I think they had a pretty somebody said they had kind of a bad start. Like, the only reason I know that is because I got an email from them that said, "Hey guys, sorry about the bad start." I was like, I didn't really notice it, but okay.
Yeah,
Whatever. They gave me some free stuff, but it looks like they're kind of chugging. Maybe some features that should have been there are going to kind of be pushed back a little bit. I mean,
yeah. But I just figured the episode missions would be the one thing they kind of would have to do out of obligation, contractually, or just because that's what I mean, that's what's their tagline: watch the show, popular. Play the game, change the world.
Drive a Dodge.
Drive a Dodge. That's right.
Drive a Dodge.
We had some jokes at Dodge and Defiance.
Speaking of Han Solo, though, can I at least address one thing because I hate Jimmy Kimmel?
I do too.
But that Harrison Ford clip from last week was phenomenal of him taking not taking Star Wars questions.
I was so uncomfortable though up until the part where he stood up and started like really getting into it, because I just thought that he was just really just wanted to get the fuck out of there, like just get me off this show. He looked like he was really just upset.
But you could tell, like, when he was going from I'm on a talk show, like, because he's not really, doesn't seem to be very good at, like, little banter, to acting out his written lines, and he, like, oh, he's Harrison Ford now.
So, like, you couldn't have a conversation with Harrison Ford if you saw him. But if you wrote something down on a napkin for him and said, would you say this to me so we can talk?
I don't think on camera.
That was
he
really
seems a bit grumpy.
awkward.
He just seems always grumpy. I would never approach Harrison Ford, no matter what. I'm scared to death of him.
It doesn't seem weird that you hear about actors that have had these like long storied careers and they just they don't want to do interviews, they don't like talking to people and stuff, and they don't give a shit about fans or whatever it is. Isn't it weird that these like you put a costume on and you make talkies, like what the hell? Since when did becoming like an actor be? It's like you're not the president. Mm-hmm. Like what? Like I don't. Isn't that? Does nobody else think that is weird at all? Like the actors, we put them on pedestals.
That's always
Ronald
been that
Reagan
way,
was. Ronald Reagan.
That's true. He was, but he wasn't a very good actor.
I mean, the reality stars kind of blurred that line a bit, but it's always kind of been that way with, especially the ones we grew up with. Like there's a certain echelon of actors that are kind of those untouchable people to me, but not necessarily all of them. It's going away a little bit. I think social media is kind of bringing that down because you get to see them be a little bit more human and fuck up.
We gotta stop paying them so much. That's the problem. Everybody that's rich maybe just gets kind of stuck up.
Blanket statements.
Let's talk about some more games.
Socialism.
Did you guys get a chance to play any of the stuff that came out today?
No.
Because we just had Star Trek just dropped, which, by the way, did not get any review copies sent out, which we all know what that means.
We got really hyped for it and for Digital Extremes.
I know. I wanted good things for them.
For the Star Trek movie game?
Yeah.
You got hyped?
Hold up. They've been doing it for a while, and it's Digital Extremes, and it looked
kind of cool.
You got hyped?
Shut up.
Star Trek movie game?
Shut up, Ethan.
They had an extra year to work on
I like Star Trek, damn it. Yeah.
You guys still playing your Wii U's?
Shut up.
Hey, there's an update, man. Is that today or tomorrow?
Hey, yeah, it's today. It's right now.
Hey, let's stop the show and go play some Super Mario World.
Oh my God, dude! In June, Super Metroid is coming out on the Virtual Console for the Wii U. Oh my God! Whoa!
Oh man, I was completely wrong about everything I said about the Wii U.
30 challenge levels coming to Rayman Legends.
Hey, yeah, that sounds great, Ethan. We all said the same thing. We all agreed with it. It's just that some of us were dumb enough to go buy the thing. I've got, you know what? I either already have or I will definitely get my money's worth out of the thing, but it is not a console for
Ethan.
Well, yeah, but like the others are. You have to look at it as a thing that makes the Mario appear on your TV.
What Nintendo was trying to say is that it's unique, it's not like the other consoles are.
Hey, you guys, if you want your Mario on your screen, there's only one way to get that. It's the Wii U. Get it now. You won't use it in the future, but you can use it now for the Mario and the Metroid. The games that have already come out, but now they got polygons.
Wait, no, the Metroid doesn't have the polygons yet.
Thank you, Christopher Walken's dumb brother.
It's got the pixels.
Hey, pixels are nice. People like it. It reminds you of your childhood, and childhood was great.
Challenge levels on the Rayman?
Tell me, tell me you're not excited to update the Wii U and see if it actually loads faster.
I'm excited to
Virtual Console.
make sure it still turns on. It's been a while. Well, as soon as Kylie finished Mario Brothers, it was like, well. There'll be some games. There's going to be a new Zelda game. I'll play the shit out of that. I'm just going to sell that and my 3DS. I'm just going to get a Vita and not play that.
That's the exact offer that I got on Craigslist when I was trying to sell my Wii U after.
Someone's going to give you a Vita?
He's like, how about I give you a Vita and like 4 games? I was like, I still don't think that math adds up, but...
There are Vita games. There are not Wii U games, but there are Vita games.
They're all digital.
The Wii U sold like 3 million units. And I think the Vita has sold like 2.5 or something like that. I think they're like really close together. I was looking at console sales today. I don't know why, but like lifetime sales. And it's like the 3DS has sold some crazy number like 22 million or 29 million, something like that. Something like, way too much for, or no, maybe it was like a lot more than that. Whatever. You guys don't care about this. Well, could you just try to act like you give a shit?
No, I do. I'm going to be thinking about it. I got to pee, but you keep talking about it.
You son of a bitch.
Going back in.
Take me in there. Take me in there. Don't take the headphones off. Get a longer cable. Anyways, yeah. Why were we talking about Wii U? How'd that come up?
I don't remember.
What are we?
You started talking. Oh, you talked
some
about
of my games that came out. So Star Trek and then Dark Arisen, the Dragon's Dogma expansion.
So is that? Does it come with? If you buy Dark Arisen, does it come with regular Dragon's Dogma? Too?
Yes.
Okay.
So
and you can import if you have Dragon's Dogma.
You just keep playing where you were. So it doesn't add a ton to the regular game.
They said the fast travel's improved, though.
Yeah, they added new fast travel locations, and somebody in a review said, I did not see this on like a press release or anything, but somebody in a review said that the menu system was better, and that's weird because that's the first I'd heard that they were changing all the menus around. But that would be better. They said because of the menu changes, it was easier to swap out equipment, which would be great because that was kind of a pain in the ass because you had one screen for like manage your inventory and the other for the equipment actually putting it on your guy. And then the other stuff they added was all the DLCs included that they released up to this point. So you get like a ton of, you get like 100,000 dragon bucks. You get a full set of armor. There's some other stuff that you get, and then they have this whole other area. So it's like I think you go to the main big city, and from there you sail away or whatever to the dark whatever place. I can't remember what it's called.
Dark Arisen Island.
I saw a little bit of it, and it looked pretty neat.
Dead Island.
Looked pretty cool. Yeah, the Dragon Island.
I want to play it, but I don't know when that happens.
Faster load times.
That's good. Oh yeah, because they have a texture pack, optional texture pack you can download that's supposed to help with the load times too.
That's just that's like on the second disc, and you install it. All that is the PS3 hasn't included. They just to save space on the one disc, they just pulled the textures out and put it on another disc. It's not better than it was.
Why? Capcom's actually been pretty good with PC releases, but why is this not on PC?
I'm not sure. So
it would look good.
I thought it was going to be.
They have a hard time with their localizations, the PC localizations. They lag behind on that stuff when they do it, and then there's those times where they just don't ever do it. We know they're capable. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And games like this that are we're going to run into some bottleneck issues, like performance problems. They had to put the black bars on top of the bottom of widescreens just to draw less of the screen to get better performance. So they had to change the resolution. I mean, maybe you should put that on the PC. Who knows why? It's Capcom. They make really weird decisions. We've bitched about it before, but basically if we cry about it enough, they may actually listen, because they did that with
Ethan, can you create a series of videos where you're crying
that one
about
hard
this?
game?
I really could. I could send my tears directly to video game developers and publishers. What's the best sort of device for transporting tears to people? Like a vial? Like a vial of tears? Is that enough, or maybe a bottle?
I would
Vial.
do. Yeah, I mean, a vial. If you filled a whole vial, that's actually a lot of tears.
Mm-hmm.
As long as someone actually thought about it when they saw it, they would be impressed.
Do you write tears on the front of it, or
It's
do you
like- it's
just
like,
assume
How
they know?
impressive is this?
It's like if you actually filled the Dixie cup all the way to the brim, like people.
That's
That
gross.
doesn't seem like a lot, but whoa, that we know how much that is.
Hey, President Capcom, come here. There's an envelope for you from this Ethan Moses guy. Let's open this up.
Oh no!
It's a vial. It's nothing.
Oh, no,
my
it's the
God!
Dixie cup.
This is tears. This young man seems very upset about the decisions we're making. Change everything.
Wait a minute, this is too thick for tears.
This has been another.
No, wait a minute. This guy again? This guy's been sending us semen for the last 10 years. How does he produce so much? How does he get it in here?
His love for
Does he have a
Street
bottle?
Fighter.
What is this?
Something's chemically wrong with this person.
Man, he loves Capcom games. That's what they would say.
I do.
They wouldn't judge
And
you.
I'm trying to
They would just
convince
they
him
appreciate
this-
their
we
fans.
Bring
should
him to
do
PC.
more breaks where Ethan does impersonations of video game executives.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't racist at all. That was the best part about it.
President Capcom? Yeah, because I sometimes forget where these places are located.
Oh, so you would have done the.
If he wasn't ignorant, it would have been
Yeah, it
racist.
if I wasn't ignorant about it, yeah. No, I know they're from Japan. I feel like maybe there's just like a real trendy old white guy that works in the middle of Japan
Yeah.
at Capcom.
He had to work real hard to get there, or he didn't, and then
Yeah.
everyone hates him, but they don't say anything because you don't do that.
It's President Capcom. That's his name.
He is President Capcom. His last name's Capcom. They're like, he's got to be
I
president.
mean, what?
Chug Capcom.
If we didn't
So
sign him,
unfair for this job.
Konami was going to.
Yeah. Oh
You can't have President Capcom working at Konami.
no.
No.
Yeah, I wonder if you could just like right now. Let's you really kind of have to be guessing right here, but pick the company that you think is going to still be around in 20 years, and you have a kid, and you name them like,
Tygon Games.
Bethesda?
Capcom. No, like Bethesda. Yeah. And so you name your child after the company,
Bethesda.
and then because think about it, when you're applying for that job, and your name is the same name as like this random company that is not named after a person, and you're like, there's no way they don't look at your resume. 1, 2, if you actually raise the kid right, they're going to be passionate about those games. They're probably going to get the job. Is what I'm trying to say. You could set your child up for success if you name them after the company you want them to work for, and you take away their choice, but that's it's a small price to pay.
That's why I'm going to name
That's
my
why
son
I feel
King
bad
David.
for my buddy Pete Enron. He,
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
yeah.
Dave Walmart. That would be the worst. He'd end up as a cashier. It would just say he'd have a name tag. That would be odd. That would be really odd.
Hi, my name is Walmart.
Walt Walmart.
So let's talk about the games we've been playing. And I think
have we
this
not
show
been?
might
What have we
just
been
be
doing?
complete. This is never going on the website. Oh my god, Justin, let's talk about some games.
Hey, I played
Or
my
you talk and we'll listen.
I played my Wii U this weekend. I don't know if you saw that.
Wait, really? No, I didn't
That's
look
why
at
I
the
was
notes.
like biting my tongue that entire time. I was like, actually, I don't know. I had that moment. I've been reading about all the updates that are coming to it. And I was like, well, might as well get the other update out of the way so it doesn't take forever to get this new update. Started browsing the eShop, trying to see what is there. Didn't really miss anything, but why not? Let's buy Punch-Out and Kirby's Adventure because they're 30 cents. So I bought those.
So are all those games from the 30-cent sale going to be 30 cents the entire time?
I don't think so. I think it's one a week. I don't know why both of them were, but
That's weird because I thought it was
I've only been half paying attention to it. I just know I'm getting super.
You don't know
frustrated.
anything. You know nothing.
So I had it on. I had the Wii U. It was awake.
Playing on the Miiverse.
I was not gonna get off my couch. And Monster Hunter is also
I totally forgot about this.
in the store. So I bought that game, and it took 24 hours to download. So I got to play it.
Oh
the
my
next day.
God!
Well, it seemed that way. It took.
Don't exaggerate on that stuff.
It was like 6 gigs, but it took hours.
Serious.
So yeah, the next day I got to play Monster Hunter, and I also wanted to try it out because I hadn't tried to stream from the Wii U yet, so I was messing with those, and ran Mr. Dave through Monster Hunter, which I think we should have a conversation about where we can and can't use Mr. Dave, because
games that don't have. Well, what are the requirements for Mr. Dave?
it has to be create a character.
Whoa, wait a minute. We gotta take, because I did put some effort into creating the continuum of Mr. Dave. So we do have to acknowledge the fact that if you do introduce Mr. Dave to a video game scenario, that you're prepared to explain how he got there. And you also have to do, where's Monster Hunter at in terms of this continuum?
Dude, Justin
past?
didn't think about any of this stuff.
God damn it, Justin.
No respect for your
I saw
timeline.
your stream and I knew you weren't thinking about this stuff.
If I
You
learned
just threw him in
anything,
there, willy-nilly.
if I learned anything
Willy-nilly.
from Patton Oswalt last week, it's that the Infinity Gauntlet can explain everything, and obviously there was a reality gem.
Oh, so were you playing a Marvel game?
Mr. Dave got the reality gem.
You can't just make shit up.
That was
You've
not
got
my...
to pass it through. Dude, there's a group, and there's the 3 of us, but you have to pass it through us, and we have to come to an agreement that the Mr. Dave that you have featured in your Monster Hunter is the Mr. Dave that we're comfortable with following.
Right.
I'm okay with disowning this Mr. Dave, because aside from his backstory, if you can't make a dumpy-looking character, that's tough.
Yeah, that's true. And he has to have a mustache.
He couldn't do a mustache.
Yes, have a mustache.
So I gave him he had a Bieber haircut and a goatee.
Then you should have just hit the back button and changed the name.
I thought I could compensate for the fact that some of the bigger weapons in Monster Hunter, you wield those pretty awkwardly, and I thought that could play into how uncoordinated he is. But I will admit it didn't play out the way I expected.
It's not that uncoordinated. Mr. Dave, he's like climbing giants, and he spins around with his knives like a whirling dervish. How the hell is that awkward? He's not uncoordinated at all. He's maybe one of the most coordinated people since Peter Parker. Like, Dave is the Spider-Man of his time.
His physicality is a little bit misleading, but he moves like a gymnast. I think we all agreed on that.
Mm-hmm. He's a little nimble. He's got a little DeVito going on, but man, he's an athlete.
I don't think that's how he was built.
Watch the very first video.
But God builds us all, and,
right.
and He doesn't expect us to turn into the things that we turn into.
So, yeah. See,
you know.
So
like that wrestler that doesn't have any limbs.
So this aberration, Mr. Dave, regardless of that, Monster Hunter...
Bizarro, Mr. Dave?
Not even...
Dave Zorro.
Bizarro Mr. Dave would be much more entertaining, too. My point is, your create character in this game doesn't really have room for personality. There's no... It is an avatar. It is nothing more. But... So I played through... the intro and then the first couple quests of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I had Monster Hunter Try on the Wii, so this was kind of a I wouldn't even say an HD remake, but like I wanted to really see how the graphics improved. You can tell it was a Wii game, but it does look better. And I actually got it because they just released the patch so you could play it on the gamepad. So I was like, I'll play that on the couch for a couple hours while we're
and the
watching
transferring is out.
Yes, so you can go between that and the 3DS. And the funny thing about Monster Hunter is the first few hours are, the whole game is resource gathering, but at least most of the time you're hunting monsters to get whatever their rare items that they contain, like their
pelts,
rare monster
teeth.
bones. Yes. But until you really get to that point, you start off like, learning the basics by, killing insects, harvesting mushrooms and
they don't just throw you
herbs
into what the hell
and killing. I mean, the first thing they throw at you is go get some raw meat from those herbivores, like the giant kind of brontosaurus kind of characters. But
okay, well,
so you get to take those down, but they're not really fighting back.
They didn't do that in the demo.
No, the demo throws you into it.
Fighting like a.
It is a much slower burn when you play this game to start. So
yeah, angry dinosaur.
So I played for a couple hours, and at the end of it, finally got to the quest lines that are actually hunt some carnivores, and things are starting to pick up pace.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've at least laid the groundwork there, but I need friends to run around with. I'm not gonna invest a lot of time in this by myself again.
How easy is it to get into the online? Is it? Can you just be doing your missions and just like hit a button and see? Because if it's not easy, I won't play it because I want to play that game multiplayer.
I think with any Nintendo Online experience, you're going to need another device to confirm your friend is there ready to play.
I know, but I'm not talking about friends. I'm just talking about strangers. I would play that with strangers.
I don't know.
But can you just, well,
I will try that, though, soon.
Yeah, please report back on that one.
I was cutting my teeth again. Mm-hmm. So, a couple...
They apparently added a lot of stuff, though. Like a lot of quests and a lot of monsters.
But you won't see... Like, the intro is very much the same intro from the regular version. So
it's too bad they didn't just spend a little bit of money making the very beginning different, at the very least.
It is, it's not impressive. I think what carried me through both times is that the whole thing centers around basically a waterfront town, and it's very Wind Waker in atmosphere, and that helped me just kind of get through some of the rough edges of not really knowing what the hell I was doing, because it does not tell you shit. I mean, it gives you all the weapon types, and each weapon, like there's like, a dozen of them. They each control a little bit differently.
Have you seen the guide, that guide that's floating around?
I need to.
It's like $3 or something cheap, and apparently it's really good, like for newbies.
Maybe I shouldn't be stubborn, just assume I'll figure everything out, because a game where it's set up where you can invest 100 hours easily into it. Why waste 10, 20 trying to figure things out? Like as far as like figuring out recipes and how you want to customize your guy and what works and what doesn't work. Because when this game is like firing on all cylinders, and I'm sure it's even more so when you have a group of friends, like you know what you're going to hunt, you're going to seek it out, and you're going to be geared up to take this one giant creature down, and those moments are pretty epic. Like I killed a couple name dudes on the Wii, and those were just really, really satisfying and push you through the next grinds to build up to figure out the weaknesses of this next creature. And that's essentially, whether that's interesting to you or not, is whether or not you love the game. But it's really well done in that regard. And I could totally get completely absorbed in this game, but I want some bros to run around with. So,
do you wish you were Chinese?
No.
Because
why not?
I did after I saw the trailer for Monster Hunter Online.
Oh yeah.
They're making They're making a I guess it's free to play. No, CryEngine powered Monster Hunter Online. It looks like the same kind of game, but the graphics are really good.
Is this what China did with all the money that?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, from the Olympics.
What they got for buying America? Yeah. They made a Monster Hunter Online game.
Yeah, it looks. What the? Oh, this is funny stuff in the chat. It looks good, and we're probably not going to get it here. I bet. I mean, we don't know that, but come on. That would be cool, and there's no way it's going to happen.
Yeah, that was free to play Monster Hunter on my PC. That looks better than.
That's exactly that seems to me like exactly the right thing to do to get certain types of gamers to play that don't currently play Monster Hunter. Like, that could hit a pretty wide audience there. Who knows? Maybe there's some BS in their exclusivity thing or something in America and Japan. I don't know. It's like China. Great. Oh, so they don't want to pay for your stuff, so you give them something cool as reward. Like, that sounds cool. Maybe we should all just start pirating their shit. Maybe they'll give us some cool free-to-play versions of their games. Ugh, it's so dumb. Anyways, what else?
So I haven't. Just a warning. I have not been playing anything current.
Oh, well then let's go ahead and move on to someone else.
I've had some pretty interesting experiences going back to the Resident Evil remake on GameCube. Surprised at
documented.
Surprised at how bad I was. I mean, we've discussed this. I've come to the grips with I'm not that good at video games. But I played the hell out of this game. I played the hell out of the original. Yet the basics, the first zombie killed me because I thought I could take it down with just my knife. And that's when I just like, man, this is going to be a long haul. And just, I didn't remember anything about this game as far as just any of the puzzles, the order in which to do stuff, how often to save. Like, really, I forgot about the Crimson Head zombies. I was just laying waste to all the zombies because I sucked so bad at the controls that I couldn't run by them for like the first 2 hours. That game was destroying me. And then I've since hit a bit of a groove and understand again how to play. And I'm really fighting the urge to go back and start it over and kind of sprint through the beginning so that I have much better equipment than I do right now, because running low on ammo, running low on just about everything, and I know I haven't even gotten to like the next wave of difficult enemies. So
running low on protein shakes. How buff is he in this?
He's pretty good looking.
Not good. That's not what I asked.
He is no.
He's not buff. He's not buff.
He's physically fit, but he is no Resident Evil 5 Chris. He is not
that's what that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. Yeah, something happened to him. Obviously he was really, really pretty disturbed by the events that happened in the mansion and then in Code Veronica, Antarctica, and that kind of place. But he got real buff. That's how he handles his stress. He gets in the gym.
And it's also funny looking back at how great this game looked when it was remade. Mm. And like the character models they look almost like stylized character models from today. Like, I mean, they're low poly compared to today, but they look like, if they went in a stylized direction with this, it would work. But now just noticing the differences between the backgrounds, the rendered backgrounds versus the character models themselves, like, it's standing out as bad as the original did. So, but that game was, that was like flawless looking when it came out. So,
yeah, that's what I remember from that. Was just being blown away by the photorealistic background.
They haven't released this on any other systems, have they? It's still GameCube exclusive, is that right?
Well, it had a Wii. Those games.
It was
that and Zero had Wii. They were called Resident Evil Archives, I think, and they came out on the Wii. But same thing.
I mean, aside from quirks of Resident Evil and tank controls, like, it's still really fun to play. Like, they're getting a kick out of it, and
they just have a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Totally
especially
different.
As I started this like a week after Ethan sprinted through Resident Evil 6, and just it doesn't feel like the same universe, even though you laugh every time you see Wesker, especially in Resident Evil 1. So, we're still looking for Barry though. So hopefully,
dude, that is a character that has been neglected, and as far as I'm concerned, abused in the Resident Evil universe. We hinted at him being in Resident Evil Nemesis, but outside of that, we don't see too much of Barry. We need to bring him back.
I'm glad he was represented in the movie, that last movie.
Oh, but I mean, I'm glad he was, but that was not the Barry that I know. That guy was not. There's nothing comforting about that guy. He was more like that was like a young Barry Burton. That was not like the older, gentle, intelligent guiding light that Barry Burton was in Resident Evil 1.
No, but wasn't that the next best thing? Like that guy, the dude they got to play, because they made him like a badass,
he was it.
Like, let's do the fanfic version of Barry, because that's really what you got.
Well, the fanfic version of Barry would have been knee deep in Chris Redfield, so it definitely can do that.
Oh, yeah, we've been through some of those pieces of art on DeviantArt.com.
I actually got one for my birthday, which I'll share with everybody in chat.
Yeah, you should. That's shareable.
I have learned from playing this, even though I feel this game, I don't know if it holds up better, but I know what Resident Evil, the classic Resident Evils feel like. I know its limitations, but now I am 100% on board with never returning to play Eternal Darkness. I don't want to know, like, because this was rough for a while, and I knew what I was getting into, and there's no way that game holds up to what I think it is, and I want it to remain what I think it is. So
no, that's fair. Are you more or less excited about the Evil Within going into after having played Resident Evil Remake as of late?
Yeah, more excited.
Even more excited. Okay,
yeah.
That's what that's what I worry, or that's what I'm curious about, because it looks like it's
awesome.
Going to push into that realm.
I mean,
we're
honestly,
going to be able to play a survival horror game with controls that actually work and visuals that'll make us shit inside of our pants, and that sounds like a recipe for good luck.
And if you do, that should take up an inventory slot.
Yep.
Why? You wouldn't store anything
just shovel
there.
It out. It'll weigh you down.
No. Why would that? So you're saying that would normally be an inventory slot, like the area in your pants directly below your ass? Like what? The place where the poop would go. What would you put there if there wasn't poop?
You're right. My logic
Drugs.
doesn't hold up. It's right. You pooped out the drugs.
Only if you're hiding drugs. You only put drugs there if you don't want them to be found. In these games, there's no one's checking
to find my drugs.
Are the monsters checking your shirt pocket?
Have you seen a monster that doesn't make rash decisions when it approaches you? I mean, who knows? You gotta be cautious in this world, man.
Go ahead, Justin. Tell us more.
I'm just mad you took that to a serious direction. Speaking of serious things, Battleblock Theater has the best intro of any Xbox. How dare
you say that poop will be in the inventory? How dare you say that? He took you to task on that, Justin, and I think that,
it's really out of place.
Worthwhile.
You could have had a lot of fun.
It just didn't make any sense.
I was on board with him. Like, literally, like, as soon as he said that, like, I was like, in my mind, like, yep, that makes sense, actually. You poop in your pants, it's in your...
You poop in your pants, you can carry less things. That's all I was thinking.
And you defended him, even though none of us knew that you were on board like that. You could have backed out once you realized the flaw.
Well, what if the poop... Okay, you ever change a baby's diaper and the baby has pooped and it shot up its back?
Yeah, that happens.
Maybe that happens.
That means the diaper's too tight.
Oh, okay.
But wait, so if you wear your pants really tight and then you poop, it doesn't take an inventory slot because it shoots up your back and you don't store things there. Is that what you're trying to say? What's your point?
If anything, it could just ruin other things in your inventory.
Oh, God, because your backpack's right there.
Is that...
Yeah.
Or your gun might be
acceptable?
in the back of your pants. And you pulled out...
You might have a box of vanilla wafers in there.
You pull the trigger and it goes...
Boy, you don't want that. Ugh.
Sorry.
Actually, soggy vanilla wafers are really good if it's pudding. Like in banana pudding, the soggy vanilla wafers are good.
Okay.
Oh, my God. No, I'm not going to argue with that. The poop, though?
It depends.
Still, it is vanilla wafers, and those are good.
I know. But the thing that makes them soggy, it soaks in the liquid or whatever, and the moisture is trapped in the cookie. So, therefore, you'd be eating shit if you ate the soggy vanilla wafer. Even if you cleaned off.
But would you eat a Reese's cup? Are you eating peanut butter or chocolate? You seem to make it sound like it's just one.
You're eating both. So, you're eating, you're
pooping vanilla wafers. At the end of the day, you're still eating vanilla wafers. That's all I'm saying.
And
take it as you will.
Yes, you're right. If you're one of those guys who's like, well, I didn't lie, I just didn't tell the whole truth, then sure. Then yes, that is correct. That should be
the vanilla wafers commercial. Dip them in poop. They have poop on them, but at the end of the day,
you still eat vanilla wafers. Really what we're trying to say is, though, that an ill wafer is still worth eating in the situation where you're in a Shinji Mikami game, you're fighting monsters, you put your pants on way too tight, you got scared because the thing with the 4 legs crawled up out of the well, you pooped. Nilla wafers were sitting in the pouch on the back that you had your fanny pack turned around. It got wet. It wasn't sealed. I don't know. I don't know why you didn't have a waterproof one, but whatever. We're gonna we'll just go ahead and skip past that one. All right. And you would still eat the Nilla wafers. Would they give you health?
I just like how stylish this character is that he turns his fanny pack to the back, like not at the front. That's what
you look dorky.
I mean business. This shit's on the back. I love it.
Play any other games?
True fanny pack. I don't even know anymore. Surprisingly, even though the Behemoth's last game featured one of my favorite shitty moments in the chase scene in Castle Crashers, there are very little poop jokes in Battleblock Theater, but it does have the funniest intro, and I found myself playing through this game just to get to the next cutscene because they're so good. The game's pretty good. I like the whole puzzle platforming aspect of it, but the humor on top of it is really keeping me involved because I don't know, the announcer's dumb, but it's he's always like offering quips every time you mess up or do something right, and it cracks me up every time. And I'm probably 20 levels in, 24 levels in, and I'm still laughing at his one-liners. Yeah.
I don't understand the point of the game. It looks cool, it looks fun, but every time I watch a video, at the end of it, I'm just like, I still don't know what you're doing. Like, you've got a teammate, but then you hurt that teammate, but then that teammate helps you. It seems strange.
I haven't played it co-op. I've been playing it solo, but I did play a little co-op back at PAX a couple years ago, and it plays like Little Big Planet co-op in that you are trying to help each other get through the level, but you can, like push the other guy and kill him and just kind of mess with them or team up and do certain things. But so they're just kind of there from my understanding, but I'm sure there are also levels designed around more cooperative type play, and then they have a bunch of other like kind of arena modes and other rooms, and it's got basically 3 big chunks of the game, and I've only been playing solo story mode because I want to hear all the one-liners, and the levels themselves are just fun on their own. So, but I mean, essentially, they've put a story, much more elaborate story around a setup to just have these rooms, these platforming rooms that they also have a level creator that people are building off of, and it's like it's Super Meat Boy with more of a budget, and they wanted to try to tie everything together. But it's really polished, which you would hope so from the amount of time they spent on it. But the only complaints I've seen about the game are like nothing about it's like really great, but it's all pretty damn good, and it's fun to play, and I think it would be a good co-op game. And so
I somehow haven't really seen any of the game, and I haven't played it.
It's been pretty quiet.
Well, I don't know if this would kind of be the right time of the year to come out with that game, but
I also feel like there's this.
I need to play it on the couch maybe, and I haven't had that couch experience lately.
There's something going on with these last remaining Xbox Live Arcade exclusives that is just like, I feel like we're all waiting for the PC release or the multi-platform release of this game to like kind of welcome it into the fold. Like, it just.
But you think it would also just stick out though, because there's so much shit that comes out now on XBLA,
yeah,
or just nothing, and then something like this. Like,
it didn't seem like I had.
I don't know why we're not excited.
Fanfare around it. So, I mean, you should be. It's a good game. I think it's fun. I think it's fun as hell to play, and I'm laughing my entire way through it on the first round. So, and it plays completely differently than their other 2 games. So, but it has enough of the behemoth to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also kind of interesting watching the behemoth grow and then looking at Super Meat Boy and Edmund McMillan's art style and how similar they actually are. But I'd love to kind of see them. I kept like, what if these guys actually collaborated? Because the game design around the behemoth games is there's always there's layers to it. Like as far as you can just play at surface level and have fun, but there's some skill and some depth to it if you really want to get into it. And I think there's a lot underneath BattleBlock Theater that is kind of left to explore.
I think I did play that game though. Watch the behemoth grow. That might have been. But is it selling?
I don't know. I haven't followed up on its sales.
That'll be the
I think it was doing
thing.
okay. I think
that's good.
I thought I saw a press release from them that it was doing hitting up some sort of milestone, 200,000 or something like that.
Just because we're not all talking about it doesn't mean that it's not blown up online, right? So.
But Ethan, you should play it because the cats are evil, and I think you really get a kick out of all the cat jokes. And I like killing the cats, but that's different.
Now. I mean, speaking of Edmund McMillan, he's
that's
got
the eugenics
cat
thing.
game coming out, and I guess I don't know at this point. I'm on Reddit a lot, so people love cats there. But I mean, do people like cats or do people hate cats? And this is a big inside joke that I'm not a part of because I really love my cats.
People that don't have
Josh,
cats hate cats. Yeah, and I love my cat. I hate most cats though. Most cats are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And they do stupid things.
I'm with most of that statement.
I've treated my cat like a dog, therefore he behaves, and he's not real smart and cool like that. But but he doesn't do all the stupid things that a normal cat does. Mm-hmm. But so I don't think he really counts. Like I love my cat, but I don't love cats. So I don't think most people will actually like cats. Most people are allergic to the damn things. Or they just say that because they hate them, but either way, they don't like cats.
That's sad.
It's too bad, but we brought this on ourselves, I think, because everybody like when your cat, jumps up on your stuff, you get mad, right? But you don't necessarily, you're not going to beat them because they don't really respond to that, right? So it's not like a dog where you can control it. So a cat, it's kind of like you're going through life as a partner with the cat. And nobody wants another partner. People want the cats to act like dogs, and they just normally do not do that, and therefore they are just seen as inferior. If people just went into I want to get a pet, but it's not really a pet. It's more it's not really a friend either. It's just somebody just
it's like a really shitty friend that just bums around on my couch.
A roommate. You just want a roommate, like a really lazy ass roommate. Then you'd be yeah, I love my cat because I like shitty roommates. But
I just like that one-liner.
You should write for Cat Fancy.
I've never actually, I've never seen a cat fancy in the wild. Is that even around?
I was gonna say, but
yeah, it's a real thing.
It wouldn't be the I love my cat. It's let's get real about cats. That's what he would write for. I don't know what that name of that magazine is.
Is that when you turn your chair around backwards and sit on it and say, "Look, kids, it's time to get real about cats. Okay, sit down, be quiet, put your yoo-hoo over to the side. Let's talk."
Man, yoo-hoo sounds so good right now.
Oh yeah, it does. Ugh.
I've never had a yoo-hoo craving.
But you've had yoo-hoo.
I don't know if I have.
Would you know if you had a yoo-hoo craving?
I was very anti-chocolate.
Would you maybe think it was something else?
It's a very weird thing. That's a long story. Not really, but it's just not an interesting one, and it's short. And I don't really know it unless I made it up now.
It's like sweet, tasty, yet really watery chocolate milk.
I don't like really watery anything.
Okay, and that's yoo-hoo talk.
The arcade challenge of the week continues. We've been playing Smash TV this week. Again, this is our 4th or 5th game. Got the dual joysticks. That was kind of why we got excited, so we could use dual joysticks. But again, I keep being fascinated with the whole transition of day one of, oh yeah, we're all excited about this game. Let's play this game. Oh, I remember this part. I remember this part. Then day 2 of, oh shit, we're playing for score. And things starting to get a little bit real, and the way, noticing the nuances of Smash TV, of like actually trying to pick your route through the game show, and do you go to the money room? It's super dangerous with a ton of points, and nobody has made it to Mutoid Man yet. But we're playing you have one credit, one guy, and hoping at this point that we might be able to crack 1 million points by the end of the week. So,
are you still doing the thing where you have to have a witness?
No, this one has a good leaderboard, so there's no way to.
Does it know you've used more than one credit?
No. So I think the accusations could fly by the end of the week, and I keep waiting. I've talked about this. I keep waiting for that moment.
Yeah.
Where things go a little sour and the distrust starts to form in our little group. But right now, there's a lot of honor system going on, and there's a lot of a lot of helping as far as like, have you tried this? This power up does this, and like people actually.
Well, how much is there really to? You're not going to get ahead by getting the hot tips on Smash TV.
But how many games, how many weeks in a row does it take before some ultra competitiveness in people like, okay, it's week 20, like we're not having fun anymore, but we're going to play this game, and I haven't won in this amount of time, and this guy keeps winning, and people like band together against that person, and just like, no, if you do,
don't watch me. I'm doing my secret route.
Yeah. It'll happen. It'll happen, and I will come to the show with that story.
You know what you guys need to do? You need to quit shit more. You just need to quit. Competition, when people are getting competitive with me, I just quit. I'm like, you want it that bad, you take it. Yeah, it's Smash fucking TV.
We were told never quit. Never give up.
I always quit. I quit a lot. I quit my job. And you know what? It's done me well. It's done me real well.
Yeah, it has. It has. That actually worked. That worked out. So maybe we should try that. You should just quit this competition now before any of that stuff happens, right? That's what you're saying, right?
You can look back and you can say, I wasn't part of that shenanigan. When everybody in that... But here's what's going to happen. The tension... I feel like it's rising.
What's going to happen is I'm going to be the catalyst for the problem. I already know this.
Oh, my God. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Because you're super competitive.
I'm either going to be accused of cheating or...
No, you're already the guy. Everyone hates you at work. You don't know it.
Not yet.
Because you're too blind.
Not yet. I finally won my first game, and I think the seeds have been planted, so...
What did you win?
I won Joust.
Oh, Joust.
Joust is perfect, but some people say I just say that because I won.
Everyone likes the games they're good at.
So the funny thing about Joust was we looked up the Twin Galaxy scores afterwards, and we found our arcade game Marathon Mode, which we were playing, and I was like number 14 in the world. I was just like, which sounds kind of cool on its own, and then you start looking at the Twin Galaxy scores, because
not really
scores 1 through 8 are like 10 million points higher than because nobody's submitting a score if it's under 10th or below.
Yeah, so. I noticed that too. It's weird. They'll have some incredibly low scores on some games. You think like, why do they even have that on there? But it kind of makes me want to send a score in, but I think the problem is it has to be certain circumstances. Like, you got to have the original system, you got to send the tape in, and then they actually have to watch the tape. If the stuff that you saw in King of Kong is true, then they get at least they used to get like a ton of submissions or whatever, or it just took them forever to go through them, like on VHS tape and stuff. I don't know if that's still the case.
Well, in the Tetris movie, they're like taking cell phone videos now. So
the Twin Galaxies is
So they're taking different video
Still, they got to go and like watch it and update it, and like you're just some like one dude or something. It can't be.
And
no one's getting paid for that.
I'm guessing that the main machines are out.
No, you don't get
No. So it wouldn't technically hold up, but that was still kind of curious. Last thing to talk about. Came over here Sunday. We played through the story mode of Injustice.
Gods Among Us. Among Us.
I think we got everything we could have really asked for out of the story mode.
Sure.
That was a comic booky game, and
for better or worse.
Yeah, but I kind of didn't think NetherRealm could do that. Like, I don't really know what their process is because Mortal Kombat's not comic booky. That just would it actually really is. but I don't know, with the source material of established DC characters, it just seemed like I wonder how the story come together in an as entertaining as the Mortal Kombat story was, because that was really well done.
They still definitely have the crown for best story mode in a fighting game, staying on top. Not that anybody's trying to get
competition, close, but
maybe Persona 4 Arena. I haven't played that. That may be pretty good. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to retract that last statement. I'm going to hold off until I hear otherwise. Or actually, we have to review it. We're going to have to play that now. Can we go ahead and pick that up? Amazon.
Persona? Okay.
Go ahead and...
No, I got to wait till my copy of Cubivore shows up before I buy another game on Amazon. No. What were you thinking as far as... It
was fun to... Man. It's weird. We knew... I don't want to sit here and talk shit about it. I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was going to be kind of like Mortal Kombat story mode, but with a DC Comics crazy storyline. And I was okay with that going in. Got that. Exactly that. Great. I was really, really confused at the beginning. Not paying a ton of attention. I wasn't picking up that we were flipping back and forth between two different realities, because some of the characters' costumes looked very similar in my eyes.
And they hadn't established the alternate version of them.
No. And so I wasn't sure who was who. And then once we got going, I knew, like, oh, that's the evil version of this guy. That's the good version.
Started out in one dimension, and then it jumped to the other dimension, but like 5 years ago or 5 years ahead. I can't remember. It was,
right.
It was like you're switching dimensions and time traveling, and it's the first 3 minutes.
I wish they just framed the screen with like dark fog or something, just to let you know this is the bad version.
If they could have given me a spreadsheet to start, I think I could have followed it better.
Yeah.
Of like,
characters
in this world. No.
We could have used that. That's but it was fun. I mean, it was fun. If you like the comic book characters, if you don't, maybe you just like the fighting. But I don't think the story.
Fun. Like, I mean,
yeah, it looked fun. I didn't play it.
I gotta give it to them for at least trying new things. I think they all work, but they're all an acquired taste too. Like, if you're not into, I can see, the super moves, the wagers, the environmental objects, and the scene transitions. Like, your fights center around a lot of kind of environmental stuff rather than just the straight up punching and kicking. But this is a superhero game. They've got to exact their powers a little bit. And I thought they incorporated that well, but also there's a solid fighting game underneath it. I say that as a purely amateur fighting game player. That button mash my way 75% through that game. But, the characters that stood out to me, we make fun of it, but Aquaman is really fun to play. I mean, he's got really satisfying moves. His trident is a lot of fun to use. Wonder Woman using her sword and shield was really fun.
Flash was cool.
Flash was awesome. I really like playing as Green Arrow. I think those are the big ones that stood out to me. We were kind of meh on Batman himself, which is surprising because he was my favorite character to play as in MK versus DC, because he actually played a lot like Scorpion. But again, it didn't. I mean, it feels pacing wise feels like the Mortal Kombat game, but like, I don't know, executing the moves felt different enough for Mortal Kombat. So I wouldn't say like your feelings on how Mortal Kombat feels, I don't think need to play into this.
Well, but it didn't control like Street Fighter.
Right.
Didn't it feel like another Realms game? Whatever. I mean, people that like really like fighting games, they're going to know already whether or not they were going to play this. And so everyone else, it's like, do you like DC stuff? Do you want to see the story mode? And I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird game. Like, who's it for?
I don't know.
Because is there enough there for somebody who just doesn't like fighting games, but they really like,
I guess
the
that
DC
was the
stuff?
other thing. I mean,
is that
just
weird?
looking at the box and the name of the game, like, because it's not an instant, you don't instantly grab onto it. Like, it feels like you it's kind of an inside game, you know? Like you would be a fan of this this side story or whatever. Like you're already involved and it's got its huge group, so they don't need to, reach out to the mass audience. But I think they kind of did themselves a disservice with that because it's a fun game in its own right, and you don't need to know all the stuff around it. Obviously, you have to like some of these superheroes to get into it. But
Map Kumpsky in the chat suggested that everyone, the evil versions of people, should have mustaches.
You had a problem.
And if that was on the box, like Superman with a mustache, like bad Superman, and he's boom, it's like bushy. And
you had a problem with the evil costumes.
I thought they sucked. They were just they were over designed. There was too much. They had too much flair.
Too much shoulder pads.
Yeah, everyone had shoulder pads. There were too many spikes and angles and fins and stuff. Like just stop that. You don't need that. Just make them dirtier, you know. And they did. The colors were like when there was a this is not like I should say spoilers. You could play just the actual normal fighting game and see these characters fighting each other. So this is not like story, stuff. Like you would see this anyways. But like there are a couple of Superman skins, and one of them is like an alternate dimension Superman, and his, like a lot of the characters, I'm saying evil versions. They're not necessarily evil. They're just from a different dimension. But there's like the Superman from the comic books that's now like the New 52 looking Superman, and then you've got, which sort of, I'm not sure, he was some play off of that basically, but and then there was like this other one had a darker blue and a darker red, and like it worked in Superman 3 the movie, so I think it'll probably work here.
Although I actually struggled in some of the fighting yourself fights, it became kind of difficult to know which one I was.
It was obvious because the other one wasn't just darker, though. He had the 80s bikini brief thing sewn into his costume.
That was weird.
That was really weird. It was just weird in certain camera angles in the cutscenes.
My only other character-related problem is what can we do? Not that I'm too invested in DC Comics at this point, but you are more so. What can we do to make them make Cyborg never have existed?
You should. Have you ever seen Cyborg's like old school costume?
It's a terrible character.
Or the costume he had in like the cartoons, like the.
How old is he? Like, does he?
Oh no, you can't talk about age from these people. Or do you just mean how long has he been around?
When was he?
I don't know. I mean,
is this post Terminator? Like, what is he based on?
I think he's been around since like the 70s at least. I'm not sure how far back he goes, but
Jax Kano Terminator.
His original costume is like white, and he's got it's like white spandex on half of his body, and the other half has just like
I think I've seen that.
It's a dumb costume, and he's so generic. Like I don't get it, and because the way they use people that have cyber, I don't know his backstory because I don't care. So I'm sure somebody would tell me right now, like, oh, actually, I don't care, so don't do that. But like the way they normally use dudes with cybernetics is they kind of suck, unless they're Brainiac and he's just a complete robot, and it's like you can't have like just parts, and be awesome. Like no, it's keeping you alive. You're RoboCop. RoboCop he was slow. RoboCop, all they needed was one shot in the face, and they just always missed. RoboCop was the luckiest cyborg of all time. He should have died in the first scene. So, Cyborg's dumb.
Booyah. That's pretty much it. We've got...
Oh, my cap! I lost my bottle cap. It just rolled across 2 tables of different heights.
You can actually check out our entire playthrough of the Injustice story mode on our Twitch channel. It'll be up on our YouTube channel soon.
The YouTube's a better quality version than the Twitch one.
So, that's all my games.
Ethan Moses. What have you been playing?
Good transition. Good segue.
No, it's terrible.
I played God mode on Monday, and I'd love to talk about the game, but what I'd really like to talk about is friendship. Things
should
that can
just have
happen
this-
unexpectedly.
Wait a minute. I don't know how you feel about friendship.
Can we just set this aside for him every
Let me
show?
go ahead and let me just go ahead and set the tone for this. Let me go ahead and tell everybody how I feel about friendship. I love it. I feed off friendship not unlike a bee feeds off pollen.
Question mark?
Sure.
Nectar? What do they do? They do bees. I'm like a bee, like a friendship bee. I'm buzzing around all these friendship flowers, dipping my sphinx fruit.
Sphincter?
What is that? What do they have? Like a stagma? Anyway,
I think
Stigmata.
they eat like
Stigmata?
Honey Crisps or something, then it turns into the
like a
actual
honey
liquid
crisp.
honey.
Yeah, like I like to stick my honey crisp into a flower of friendship. Is what I'm trying to say. So I did a reflex review on God Mode on Monday because Justin suggested the day before, hey, I bet you'd have some fun with God Mode. I think literally that's what he wrote.
Now, sometimes
to
I
me.
do this just based off of titles of games or trailers and to say, hey, this looks like an Ethan game. I did actually play a half hour of this game before recommending it to you, just so you know.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just right off the bat. Well, anyway, I took him up on that. I purchased the game, and I plan on doing a reflex review. And so I thought, what I've been doing as of late sometimes is I'll play the game live because I've actually gone to read some reviews on some other websites, and people have said, I'd really like to see, what goes through, a reviewer's head when they're actually going through these games. So I thought, that's kind of a cool idea is to actually see their impression right off the bat. And we've done that for a while now with our live reflex reviews and Game Curious and that kind of stuff. And so, we're just, trying to continue that. And so I jumped in and I started playing. It was fun. It wasn't too bad. Game's okay. It's a budget game. So, nothing to write home to mom about. But what happened was what tends to happen with these streams is we'll have people pop in. They'll give us pro tips. And that's fine. Like, thank you. Like, great. Thanks a lot. Like, that's cool.
We need them.
You're being friendly. I'm assuming you're not being pretentious with your pro tips. I'm assuming you're being friendly, though for the most part, most of them come across as pretentious. And two guys came on the stream, and they were helping me out real friendly. We were chit-chatting and stuff like that. And so they were giving pro tips, and they gave about 2. And then suddenly I got 2 friend requests on Steam. And I was like, what? This never happens.
Friends?
Friends. And I was like, well, this must be a coincidence. There's no way. And I look at it, and it's the dudes
No
from
one
the
would
stream.
friend me.
Yeah, I was going to say there's really no reason to. And not only were they willing to give me pro tips, they were willing to take my hand and lead me into the Coliseum of Death that is God Mode. And you never
terrible.
know. It's a mixed bag with friends.
I was worried about them forcing their pro tips on him at first.
Why did you? Yeah, don't accept strangers' tips. 1, 2. Don't. Why did you let them? Why did you go with them? That sounds terrible. Lead them. They were like, grab your hands. You're defenseless now because you don't have a free hand with a gun.
Here's the thing: is there's sometimes that you meet dudes and you think they're sketchy. A little bit of skank to them, a little bit of jank, a little bit of stanky
Skank and jank.
Talking about your Sleeping Dogs video?
And so yeah, exactly. you can tell when a dude does not have your best interests in mind, but sometimes just whether the stars align or the Neptune is all like I'm glowing a little bit brighter than usual.
That happens.
You know that these guys, you can trust these guys, and we jumped into the game, and let me tell you, they were gentlemen, but they were also literal pros. They kicked ass. They kicked big time ass. Emil was one of the guys, and Emil is such a when you think of a guy named Emil, you think of a just real friendly, all around good guy, but you don't really think about him just slaying horde upon horde of fucking demons and skeletons and shit.
I'd say that's truth.
And every time I looked in this game, and you can watch the stream, I'm not making this up, I could never find Emil. I'd be like, where's Emil? Where's Emil? He would be in the thick of it. Hey, guys, I got it. Don't worry. I'm like, Like, he didn't really say that, but I assume that's what he would tell me in that situation. And it was always Emil would come out. Like, I would be, like, fighting off, and all these creatures would be coming at me. I'd be like, oh, shit. The creature would explode. Fucking Emil was there, like, just with a look on his face, like, "Hey, I got you. Don't worry about it."
Cutting his way out of something's stomach.
It was just, yeah. It was like he was
Blast
like
through walls.
he was like a surgeon with his submachine gun. It was great, but the unfortunate thing, I've actually noticed this in these kind of situations when I've made new friends on games, is they don't last forever.
I wonder why.
They don't.
Why is it? For another time we'll analyze that.
It's and we're running. And Emil is, as far as I'm concerned, he's invincible. He's made of stone. He's got the heart of a lion, the brain of I think elephants are really good at remembering things, which means they're probably pretty smart.
They're good
He's
painters,
just got all
too.
these really good qualities. And we're running, and this is a highlight that we'll put at the end of the week. Emil just drops dead, just suddenly, just drops to the ground, motionless. And at first I'm like, oh shit, he must be going prone. I don't know if that's something you even do in God mode, but obviously it wasn't, because he was dead as a fucking doornail.
Whoa, hang on, you're leaving out two details here. One is that the actual view, because I've seen this highlight and I didn't see any of the rest of it. I just saw this highlight, and you're standing there with your other teammate, and then you're like, where's Emil? And then he comes running into view on your screen, like just, from the background or whatever. And he runs and he takes about 4 or 5 steps, and then his head catches on fire. It explodes or something. Something bad happens with his fire and his head. I saw that. I saw fire pop out the back of his head. I don't know why. I think his brain popped. I think he had. Is that what an aneurysm is? I don't know.
He may have had an aneurysm. I don't know what happened, because there was no enemies around.
And he just went. His body went limp and then he fell. So
yeah, it was really disconcerting, actually. We approached it, but the other character whose screen name was Ghost 187, which I thought was funny because I'm Wizard Train 187, and I just that's police code for homicide, and so I felt real ghetto. But neither one of us was ghetto.
On a Wizard
we actually
Train.
agreed upon that early on. So
that's great that you got that out. Hey, we're both cool, right? Yeah. It's not like that. It's not what you think.
It was funny. He was like,
too.
"Oh, I've had this name for 10 years. It's pretty childish." I was like, "Oh yeah, me too."
And we both changed since then.
Wizards and shit. But we did our best we tried to get Emil to the next stage, but Emil was dead. But he came back.
When you die in the game, you die in real life.
yeah, that would have been awful.
I don't see him tonight in the chat.
I don't either. It makes me kind of weird. No, actually, the cool thing, I think Emil is actually an all-around really good guy. He's from, I believe, Malaysia, and he wrote at the end of the game, which no one has ever done this. Even my friends that I play with don't write a congratulatory, "Hey, great game, let's do it again." I was like, what? Are you from the internet? There's no way you're a real person. You're polite,
words?
you're really good at video games, and you give, non-condescending pro tips. Thank you, sir.
Want to fly off a helicopter together? Nothing.
I would fly on a helicopter with him if need be. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I caught the tail end of that. So yeah, that was I had a good experience with God mode, but I do want to say I don't think God mode has longevity. If you couldn't guess it from my review, it's an okay game. It doesn't do anything wrong. It's just there's a lot of games there's better co-op opportunities for you. So, but it's a cheap game, low barrier of entry, and that's the biggest advantage. So,
was it $10?
If you happen to pick that game up, I'll play with you.
$10,
cool.
Fun setting.
$10,
nice
Why
diversion.
not?
If $10, you can have a friend. Mm-hmm. Ethan just offered
And I made
for
$10. You know what?
$10
For
you might be able to meet
$10,
Emil.
you can make 2 friends. I guarantee you'll make 2 friends. I made 2 friends suddenly as soon as I got it. So
you can only
must be
guarantee
something
one.
Well, wait. What was your other friend's name besides Emil?
187
Okay,
Ghost
Ghost.
187.
Okay, never mind. Was there another guy? Was it just 3 of you?
Yeah, it was just 3 of us.
It is a 4-player
I played
game,
with some
right?
other people in the beginning. It was a clown guy with a clown face. I don't know if he
Clown
really wanted to be
Killers
friends with me or not.
187.
No, I don't know what his name was. It started
420?
with a B, though.
Dark Carnival Master?
Yeah, maybe.
Jackalope?
It may have been one of those. So yeah, that was God mode.
I mean, I don't need to play that game.
No, you don't.
I got what I needed out of it, which is your story.
There was something, though, about I think I found out this game maybe 2 weeks ago. It just kind of one of those pre-orders that shows up on Steam, and it's just this is a game that knows just what it is. As far as here you go, this is all we're really trying to do. $10, third-person shooter, play with your friends. thanks. I don't really know how you made this happen. I want to say, even though I feel like they're all scattered to the wind right now, one of the people, I want to say somebody to do with People Can Fly or Painkiller was somehow involved in this. Could be making that up.
You don't know that. You just made that up.
Well, I believed it for like 2 weeks, so I might have made it up at one point.
You looked at it and thought it looked like one of their games.
It's probably true. It feels like it, though. So.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of looks like Painkiller and Will Rock maybe had bumped to the uglies. Made this.
Sure.
Is that, yeah?
I agree.
Ethan, back to you.
Okay. Here's more stories from my video game adventures.
Yes. Continue. Chapter 2.
Okay. So I've gotten in my head that I have been neglecting my mini role-playing game characters. I feel like their levels are not high enough. If there was ever a situation where I had to team up all of my RPG characters together and to fight a battle, some of them would be lacking a little bit. So I jumped into Torchlight 2 and Borderlands 2 this past week. But I really got hooked into Torchlight 2. Actually, Josh and I played for a little bit on Friday night and just did some work. We just, oh my gosh, we annihilated the first level and the first boss we met. We just made it look silly. And I had like a level, I think we both had level 10 characters, something like that.
Some pretty low.
Who's your character in this one?
So this is Chloe Moonshine.
Okay, we don't hear much about her.
Chloe Moonshine is actually you would know Chloe Moonshine from the War Z stream that I did. She didn't last too long. She got killed pretty quickly, actually in a very cowardly way. Somebody shot me in the back as I literally said, "Hey, I'm friendly." Chloe Moonshine is another one of my characters. Hasn't seen a whole lot of light yet, but I'm trying to develop them all equally. So in this game, she is the Berserker character, and holy shit, do I like that character a lot. I took it from level 10 with Josh to I think I'm at level 60 with her now. Just played that all throughout the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Socks were filled.
Yeah. I haven't had a gameplay session like that for a long time. The big thing that happened was that, Aubrey and I went out on Saturday and got super drunk, and
Did you
we were
dance?
both pretty hungover the next day.
It's not allowed.
So
They're married. I don't know what that means.
So that what not together. Did Ethan dance is what I'm trying to ask. Seems like a lot of times when you get drunk you dance. Okay.
No, it wasn't. It was
That's sad.
it was a good solid drunk, like a real solid drunk. You know what I mean? Like the kind that like the next day you don't feel great, but you don't feel too bad. You feel good enough that you could take your character from level 10 to level fucking 60 in a weekend. Holy shit! I just kind of like thought about that. It just kind of came into my mind.
You're thinking right now what we were thinking when you first said it.
Yeah, it's
pretty
been.
sure
I
you
don't
add
usually
up-
do that, guys. I don't want you guys to
you add
judge
up
me.
all of my Torchlight 2 characters with my Torchlight 1 characters, I don't think I have 60 levels.
It's okay.
my
People
God.
do that, dude. You go on a binger. You play a game for that. I wish I could do that now. My attention span won't let me. I have the time even right now, and I still don't do it. I just can't. I'm like, I gotta go play something else.
I got nutty. I got nutty into it, but I will say I was happy because
Good
I
for
actually
you.
finally beat the game.
Oh, nice.
What's
added
the
it to
end?
my beat the game list, which is a list that I think we all keeping a list of games that we beat? I think we kind of talked about that.
I think you threw the gauntlet down on email this week with that. So.
No one will beat you. You could just stop now, and no one is going to beat you.
Should anyone beat him?
Yeah, because it's not like not all the games were brand new. They're not all from 2013.
No, and I got to say that list is not just games that like I started in 2013 and then beat in 2013. A lot of them have been lingering for quite some time.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to, I don't be like, I beat so many games in 2013, I'm the best. Like, I don't want to do that.
No,
I don't want you to
we
do
don't
that.
think that.
No, but I felt pretty good about it. I kind of like completing games. So, and then the Borderlands 2, that big or medium-sized update came out where you can now take your character to level 60.
Did you?
No, not yet. Actually, I it's a little bit easier to get into the grind with Torchlight 2 than it is with Borderlands 2. Actually,
I find I'm short bursts of Borderlands.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Knock out
Because
like
my older brother and I played a lot,
Yep.
but it's better with co-op. And after playing co-op a lot and then playing by yourself, it's like
I really like I really like that game as a filler game now though. Like I find myself playing it a little like in smaller doses in between like bigger game sessions. And I didn't do the first game. I just dumped 60 hours into it and never looked back. But this one, it's just I've been playing it in small bits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a perfect game to play like that. I definitely do.
Are you playing the new class?
No, I mean, I have the Necromancer class. I haven't even touched. I actually have not touched any of the classes besides the Axton, who is the
Commando
soldier. He's a soldier. He throws the turret down.
Yep.
Because it
Warrior.
takes a lot of time to get your levels up. I mean, and I kind of want to have like I've never played a game, or I've only played a few games. I've taken them to the highest level I can, and I'm just curious on how overpowered I'm going to be at level 60 with this guy. Like I feel like I do pretty good work right now. So, yeah, I don't know.
What? Sorry, did you say what the other new class was?
I don't.
It's a bandit. It's like a bandit.
Yeah, it's the guy. It's this guy with the guns
Psycho.
to his head.
It's a psycho.
Yeah, the
got
psycho.
a bunch of skills that are chaos related. He wants to be in the thick. He's kind of like
I could get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
might
you
like
would.
him, actually.
You would. Let's go listen to some Limp Bizkit too while you play him.
No. Head PE. That's what I've been listening to. MC Scud. Something like
Nope, none of it. Nope, not here. Not at this table. No. So you've had time for any other games?
The last thing I want to talk about, because I don't want to drone on about Torchlight 2 unless somebody wants to talk to me after the show. Actually, you won't be able to because I'm going to go to bed. But Towns, I jumped back into Towns for a little bit. They have had a bunch of updates. Actually, they updated everything that any criticism I had of the game, they've updated it. They've allowed you to assign your townspeople to certain jobs. You can actually create job groups. The feature I kind of want to talk about was, which is a really cool feature, is that you can actually create a town and bury that town. And essentially what you're doing is the next time you do a new map, if you dig down into the dungeons, you can find an old town. So you can find the town that you built previously.
This is Defiance.
So it's almost... No, Towns.
No, that's St. Louis and Defiance. The terraforming flips the earth over on top of the city. Why the arch is sticking up, we don't know, but the rest of St. Louis still exists, but it's under the ground. It's been buried. You just described
Towns has taken a
Dodge Challengers and
page
Towns
out of the Defiance notebook. But I think it's a cool feature because not only can you do it within your own towns, but you can actually transfer these buried ground or buried towns, as is what they call them. You can transfer them to your friends. So you could be digging around and you can find it's almost like an archaeological dig site. I mean, I
didn't know there was
any
any
following
interaction
that game
there.
because they're doing such cool shit with it.
Well, wait, is there other multiplayer interaction? Is there any other?
At this point, that is it. And actually, you have to manually transfer the files over. But they're working on a system that it doesn't automatically. So you would have random. You'd have these random discoveries, and apparently, what it does is it takes this town, but it fills it with all kinds of awful creatures. But there's loot and stuff that you would find as a result of it. So, but the thing about that game is it's such it's an overwhelming game. And you know that you're not just going to play it for like half an hour. Yeah. I mean, Justin, you would hate it. It is all about micromanagement. It's all about grinding for resources. But there's something about taking a group of 11 people from nothing to a sprawling metropolis. And I mean, it's not like you just put buildings down and then people go to them. I mean, you build it from the ground up. And I think it's a really, really cool game. And if you love those sim type games,
can you follow their daily life
have to.
Throughout the entire 24 hours?
Do what?
Can you follow their daily life throughout the entire 24 hours? All your townsfolk.
I mean, you can
follow them to work.
You can create backstories for them so you can keep them alive.
That would, if I can.
No, it's no SimCity. It's no SimCity.
If I could play SimCity 2000 with some sort of mod where Ethan can fill in the backstories. Like, I don't actually have to witness this stuff, but just your commentary about who's this guy I'm looking at. Well, little did you know that that's Sapphire Goldstein, and she's a
stripper.
I was going to say, that does not sound like an Ethan Moses character. My characters are always pretty wholesome.
Jewish stripper?
They always have pretty wholesome names. Sapphire Goldstein. Are you taking copyright on that? Because that's an excellent name.
You can have that. That can be one of your NPCs.
Thank you.
I've never seen him reject a name, but he just did. He didn't say it out loud, but he just rejected a name.
I am about done suggesting creative ideas on the show.
Wait. We just figured it out. This is why you don't come up with like personas for characters. Like Ethan's got a million of them. I've got a couple. Everybody has their their characters that always shows up in all their games, and this is why you don't, because Sapphire Goldstein.
Sapphire Goldstein. Why does Justin's all of his characters are strippers for some reason? It's that's Sapphire for you.
Yeah.
I like that name though. It rolls off the tongue.
And on to okay.
Yeah, that's all I
got. Whew. My list is actually pretty short for this past couple weeks. I just haven't for whatever reason I haven't spent a ton of time gaming that much.
You're building a game.
Well, I am still working on my arcade cabinet. I used my router for the first time. Did I mention that? I bought one. I hadn't like routed stuff out. It's awesome. It's the manliest tool for something that's like, you hold on to the and it just
yeah.
It's
didn't
got
know that was a tool. I was like,
it's got
dude, you've used a router before.
It's got a little bit, and it spins at like 30,000 RPMs, and it's really, really loud. It's like when it bites into the wood, you feel it just like what would this do to a flesh? Like what would? So yeah, that's still in progress.
Wait a second. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do your intro song to this segment of the show.
Which is, oh no.
It's time to talk about tools. Okay, go ahead.
I love it. Trying to think what else. That's only new tool that I used. I used all my tools. I got really, really good new straight edge. I told you about that one, I think. Boy, that's great for just drawing straight lines. I mentioned earlier I've been playing a bunch of Defiance. Just keep going back to that, and I just really like getting in that Dodge Challenger and just ramping stuff. I'm not changing my tune here. I still think the game needs trucks, but
does the trick.
Boy, that car is just as about as close as you get to a truck. I mean, it's almost an El Camino, which is halfway there. You
can't have a truck. El Camino.
You settle for it,
mm-hmm.
but, and I can NDA. It's dumb. I can tell you a little bit about this, but I've been playing a ton of Marvel Heroes, the action RPG from Gazillion, and I can't go into details because NDAs. It's so dumb. This, especially for this particular game.
Did you just offer an opinion on the game?
The NDA is dumb because it's especially so close to release. It's in beta and stuff is changing. That's fine,
and people played it at PAX and could write about it.
Yeah, it's really dumb. Just let people start talking about this shit. But it's a free-to-play game. They need tons of exposure. You're not going to get that if you constantly take down everyone's YouTube videos and streams. But I've played a ton of it, and it's really, and you can get a lot of information from watching their videos on their own website and their own playthroughs. This is David Brevik, one of the original Diablo and Diablo 2 dudes from Blizzard North, and he's very much made a Diablo game with Marvel characters in it. This is not Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. This is a Diablo, Marvel game. So,
it's out in June.
But it's like June 4th. I'll say this though, I have played it for probably 20 to 30 hours so far, and I'm still doing it. So
and those beta times aren't open all that often,
right? Every time they are more so now.
So do the math.
Yeah. So I'm playing it with Kylie. We're doing the co-op thing.
I cannot wait to find out what you think about the game.
Yeah. Yep.
Sounds like you don't like it.
Yeah, it sucks.
Marvel Heroes. It's gonna be a video game.
If you like the Hulk,
he's in it.
He's in the game, and he does smash things. You've seen that in the videos on the website. It's so dumb because all the information you can already get it, like just watching stuff. But I don't know. I'm gonna be respectful.
If you like Cyclops,
not that I give a shit. Like, what were they gonna do? But whatever.
Shut him down.
Yeah,
dude. If we get
cease and desist on the podcast,
if we get another Russian hacker attack on the site,
we can't afford that. So I don't know why I did this, but I re-downloaded DC Universe Online, and I played. I made a new character.
So that game's still online.
Yeah, and you know what? It's still actually, for what it is, it's pretty cool.
So, did you play any City Heroes?
Yeah, I played a bunch, and Champions Online. Play a bunch of that.
Is this the best?
It's different. It's a completely different feel. I think it's probably way better action, like the combat and stuff. But the actual, and it looks better, sure. The character creator, not nearly as good. You don't have nearly the options. But what you can make is it's pretty good and it's fun to play.
And you create a custom hero. You're not one of them.
Right. You don't play exactly. Yeah, you don't play as
which would be the difference.
The actual heroes.
Because Marvel Heroes,
you play as the dude. You don't make dudes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You play as like the actual Marvel characters, and this is different. This is very much an MMO. This is a kill 30 of Gorilla Grodd soldiers, and then report back to the guy in the police station. So it's got a lot of that going on, but the action is pretty good. And right at the start, you have a travel power, which you didn't have in like City of Heroes. You can fly, or you can be super fast, or you have acrobatics, and
or you can do cartwheels down the street.
Well, and you can run up walls and crap like that. I did get to try that because I was playing the Robin. It's the only one you've got when you first start playing. In PvP, you play as they have like Legends PvP. You actually play as the DC characters, which is cool because they do have they got like 4 or 5 different Green Lanterns in there. They got Superman, Batman, and the villains that you'd expect. And Robin's like running up walls and hitting stuff with a staff, which should have been fun, but I was getting my ass beat really hard by the villains. So I made a Green Lantern, Rex Conway, nice. Green Lantern of Sector 10-4, Super Dave. Yeah, you can't. No, I'm sorry. Was that Verdian in the chat?
Super Mr. Dave.
No, can't do Super Dave. So yeah, you got hard light powers. That was the thing they added. Like I don't know, about a year after the game launched, I think they added like Green Lantern stuff. So they have like 5 or 6 DLC packs, and then you can buy them with your Sony points or cash if you're free to play, or if you have a subscription, you get all that stuff included. And but yeah, just like Green Lantern stuff. Like I got a power ring, and I make trains and missiles, and I make big green miniguns made out of light and stuff. It's pretty fun. So that was cool.
Create 2 buses.
I won't play that again.
Smash dudes.
No, well, I don't know.
I forgot that's a good super move
maybe.
Too in Injustice.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So forgive me if I'm jumping ahead in your list.
Yeah,
but like you were playing Guild Wars 2 there for a bit, and
yep, and I will again.
We've talked quite a bit about your Star Trek Online experiences. So kind of curious why you're bouncing around between MMOs. Like, how did you end up?
I don't have a job.
No, but like, what drew you?
It's pretty simple, really. It's pretty simple.
But that's what I mean.
And they're free. Whatever.
Like, you're not
cheap.
You're not investing yourself in one. Like, you're still kind of bouncing around, and you're playing.
I can't.
Was it our Injustice talk that led you to DC Universe, or was it?
Yeah, well, yeah, and I've been reading a bunch of comics. Okay. So that's, I'm get it wherever I can.
No, it's just to me,
sometimes you just want to fly.
It's an undertaking when you just like hit that login button for an MMO. Like it's like
not for me. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm only going to be in there for. I'm just visiting. I don't. My socks are in my drawer. I don't keep them under my desk. I don't have to worry about that. I'm not you. Listen, I can get in and out. I understand the concern, but I'll be all right. Actually, I'm going to get back into Star Trek soon because they've got a new expansion coming out. You can play as Romulans. We got the Romulans. Guys, the Star Trek's got the Romulans in it. We can be the Romulan warbird, the Deredex destroyer. It's got plasma torpedoes. It can go warp 10.
He can do that because
yeah.
Because he knows all that information.
Yeah, I know. I have all this stupid. I know how nerdy it is, but I retain other stuff too, like stuff that's not nerdy.
See, I don't. I just retain stupid shit.
Well, it's all stupid shit, dude. All of it is stupid shit.
Except for my knowledge of the 1992 Cincinnati Reds.
Well, yeah, no, that's dumb too. Math is, that's dumb. Whatever. What are you gonna fill it with? Dumb stuff.
Take a stand right now.
I played Beast Turbo Boxing.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Beast Boxing Turbo.
Beatboxing.
Beast Boxing Turbo. Not Beat. Beast Boxing Turbo. You're like a teenage girl.
Beast Boxing Turbos?
You're a teenage girl who puts on a costume, a beast costume, and goes into Beast Holla to in the underground boxing circuit to fight beasts. It's a first-person fighting game on the computer that plays like our old arcade Punch-Out.
Okay, let's see how I see how this happened.
It's
now.
Really good, really good.
On what? Where'd you get this?
It's the computers.
No, but
it's on the computer. It's on the internet. I just have the demo, and I played it for like an hour. I mean, I was not very good, but that's why I kept playing. They didn't time me out. They just said you didn't get far enough to end the demo.
It's not on a service. It's on their website.
Yeah, it was a straight download off. Just Google Beast Boxing Turbo and just like right now. Yeah, do it right now. I don't need to talk about it anymore, but I will briefly. There's an RPG system. After a fight, you get points you can put into a whole bunch of different or like you spend time training. You spend money on little training things, and they increase different parts of your stats, and then you get equipment that boosts stats, better boxing gloves, all that stuff. It's real easy to manage. It's quick. It's not. None of this is really bogs you down. But the fighting is great. It's left, right, mouse. You can use controller. I was using mouse, keyboard. W or just I guess A and D were like left and right. W. So W and S are S would like bring up your gloves. Like back basically puts up your gloves to block, and then you can. Just move left and right in the ring. You don't go forward in the ring though. But left and right, throw jabs or straights, and then you can do uppercuts with W. Or if you do like left and right, A and D, you can do hooks, and you have a stamina bar that goes down pretty fast, but also refills fast, and it's like Punch-Out, but it's faster, it's smoother, it's way more satisfying when you punch someone in the face, it's like best out of 3. There's no time limit. It's just it's like a fighting game like that. We're just like at the bar. You got to sit in the bar to empty him and KO, and you just fight monsters. Like there's I fought an insect. He had a bunch of arms and a bunch of eyeballs, and he had glasses on. I fought a pig man. There was another creature. I don't even know what it was.
Looks like there's a turkey.
Yeah, you punch a turkey. There's like 20 or 30 or something monsters you fight. When you beat one, then they train you. It's really cool. And I just played the demo. There may be like way more to it. I know there's like a dozen tutorials, and I only did the first 2 and learned all this stuff. But if you're just at all unsure, at least go download the demo of this game and play that. You will get you get at least like 3 fights. It's fantastic. And then I played Papers, Please. Have you heard about this? Mm-hmm. This is crap. Don't remember the dude's name who made this. Luke something made this. He's made some other stuff. It's indie game developer. This is a game where you play a border agent in a fictional Eastern European country. And you are the guy who lets people in or denies their entry when people come to your border to try to get in. So
you're the border, not the airport?
It's
I don't know why I thought it was the airport.
No.
Okay.
No, it's just a border. They just walk in. I mean, you don't see them get on planes and stuff. But so the game as it goes on. So really, the goal here is to catch the people who are faking their documentation, and make sure you don't let them through. But you have to also make sure you let the right people through. You can't just constantly deny everyone. And you get paid on your depending on how well you perform that day. And this is a very poor country. You are poor, and you have a big family, and they're constantly going hungry and cold and getting sick.
Oregon Trail in the back end?
Yes. And so if you don't make enough money, like you have to be able to pay for rent first, then for food, and then it's heat, and then medicine for everyone. And it automatically will deduct rent and food first, and then you get your choice of the other stuff. And sometimes you just don't make enough money that day for we don't have heat today, but there's rent and food and whatever. And then they'll get cold, and then they get sick. And I played this a couple times, and I had to start over because my son died.
Good job.
Because I couldn't feed him.
You're a terrible parent.
It's awful. It is really sad. But the gameplay it's brilliant. So every day, security gets worse. Like it gets tighter. There was a terrorist. One of the people came through and then set off a bomb. And more.
That was your fault.
Next day, more. Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't. I did my job right. His papers were in order. It's not my job to look at his background. Are his papers in order? Papers, please. Not
whatever you tell yourself,
life story.
Man.
Well, so
you let him through.
Everybody has
he doesn't
everyone's
get through. The bomb doesn't go off.
I know. So everyone has kind of a little personality. A lot of them have a little backstory. It's just a brief exchange. It happens the same way every time. Person walks up to the window. They put their papers on the thing. They say, your guy says, "Papers, please." They put
I don't
they put
speak
them down.
English.
What's the purpose of your visit?
This is an Eastern European country.
It's like bad English on purpose. It's great. Yeah. Cause no trouble is the line as he sends them on when he approves them. That's what he says to him as he sends them on. But they put their papers on. You have this little window on the left of the screen, and they put their papers on the table, and you take those papers and you drag them to this work area on the right, and you can drag them around and look at them and stuff, kind of examine them. But you also have a little rules thing and a little map to make sure the originating city is correct to match up with the country on their entry visa. And you can anytime you drag those out and open them up and look at them and stuff. This would be great on iOS probably. I'm guessing this is going to end up on an iPad at some point. But
and I think
this works well with a mouse. But
do the regulations get updated?
I mean, they get worse. Like the security as it gets tighter. Basically, that is now you need not just a passport, but you need the entry ticket, and then that entry ticket turns into a form, and you're matching up all this stuff. And you have to look at the papers and go, okay, these numbers match, the country matches, the date it's not expired, the issue date isn't ahead of today. The picture looks like them. It says male or female. That could be messed up. But there's one guy came through and he didn't have papers at all. And I was like, no, get out of here. And then another dude, he comes back the next day and he's written one up by hand. And it looks like hand drawn. Oh, and you have this thing you slide out that has stamps, approved and denied. And you have to take the paper and you have to line it up under the stamp and then hit the stamp. I mean, it's really, you do everything manually. It's really cool. But there's one guy comes in and he's like, oh, me and my wife are, going on a trip or whatever. And then he says, my wife's right behind me. And as I send him in, his papers are fine. And this woman is like, oh, did you see my husband? Did he make it through? And her papers weren't in order. And I was like, but when you see something out of order, you don't just stamp them. You tell them because sometimes they have the right things. They'll fix it. And she says, no. She's like, I don't have that. No, you can't. You have to let me through, please. I'm like, I have to do it. I have a child, right? He says, you can't. If you send me back, they'll kill me. You've doomed me. What do I do? It's her or my child. I deny her. I can't. I got to feed my kids. They're sick. They're cold. They're hungry. It's it's really awesome.
Much you've protected your family other than the first time you let your son die. But in the game where you've protected your family, how many other people have died? Because
I don't know. I'm assuming all of them. I'm assuming wherever they came from was a place of death. Oh, it's awesome. There's like a free. It's totally free right now. Like the beta version. I think it's when it gets released, maybe it's going to be like a pay thing. It'll be worth it even then. It's fantastic.
Hey, I didn't realize.
Papers, comma, please.
I've heard people talking about it, but didn't realize all the kind of manual handling of the.
I knew really nothing going in,
but it sounds like you had fun playing it.
Yeah, really, it's really good. Really, really good. The mechanics are great. The little story stuff.
You hear about some of these games and you don't know are they talking about it because it's novel or
right
because of the subject matter,
right?
But the fact that it's actually kind of enjoyable to play.
It's great. Yeah, and I guess like the full version is going to have you're going to be able to play for longer. It's going to have more more days because it plays out in days, and I think there's only like 10 or something in this version or something like that.
Yeah, what about?
It's great.
Is there anything forcing you to speed up when you're comparing yourself, other than you want to hit a quota to be able to feed your family?
Yeah, there's a clock going, and at 6 o'clock you only have like whoever was standing right there at the window. I think is the last person, and you get paid per person you successfully let in. I think is how that works because I think it's like a per.
You don't get paid
like a
for
buck a person or something like that.
Denying someone.
Maybe
okay.
I don't know. I didn't. If it told me, I wasn't paying attention. But I'm pretty sure that is like a thing because if otherwise, why would they have that little time thing? But I think that is how it works, or it will work. Maybe I don't. When I knew about that part, I think like when I first was reading about the game online, on some forums or whatever, that's where I saw it. But yeah, it's really cool. And then I talked about last week on I think our Horrible Show Aftermath. I mentioned One Late Night.
Mm-hmm. Did you finish it?
So no,
I haven't gone back because I'm terrified.
I'm having some problems. I'm kind of getting stuck, and I get stuck, but I'm so scared. I get so nervous. Ethan, did you play this or not? Did you not go get this?
Not yet.
Oh, did you play more?
No, I just played the 1 hour.
Damn it. I was really hoping that you guys were gonna have come back.
Why would I do that to myself?
Because Ethan, why haven't you played this, dude?
Because I'm alone too much. I realize I've been reading a lot of scary stories, and I just realized I'm alone way too much to be able to maybe when my wife gets home, I'll jump into these. But yeah, ugh.
I need somebody to talk about this with. Like I need tips, I need pointers, and I have some for you. So
I don't know. How do you do that without spoilers?
Well, you say like how far are you? Like and you can vaguely give that, and then you can say
you gave me a tip because I was stuck. So
yeah, who? Yeah,
I was stuck and scared to death, so I didn't ever want to leave my office.
That's kind of where I'm at. So
it's just like
I'm at the point now where
I don't know what to do, but I know I'm safe.
Okay.
So if I just sit here, the game will naturally go on the next day, right?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No. So if you didn't see that Aftermath last week and hear me talk about this, it's called One Late Night, and this is I think
.com.
Yeah, onelateNight.com is the site. This is a first-person horror game. It's a short adventure, and don't watch the trailer on the website. Don't read anything about it. Just download it and play it. The less you know going in, the more tense and scary it's going to be. If you don't get scared, if you don't play horror games, then you may not want to try this. But if you have ever found yourself playing one of these or watching scary movies and you do kind of get tense or you get into it, then this one will probably get you. The controls are a little wonky. You got to just try not to get frustrated with that. Sometimes it can be a little bit wonk, but it actually looks good. It's a pretty decent looking game for being like a little free game. You're in an office building, and this is the thing you do want to know because this is great. So you're a graphic designer, and you're working late at night, and you're the only one in the office, and you're who knows what floor of whatever building you're on, and then the office isn't gigantic. There's probably 10 rooms, maybe.
But you're in the 10th room.
Yeah, you're at the end of the hallway, around a corner in your office, and you're working late. And the idea is, I think, like what goes on, like what are your worst nightmares when you're working late like that? And this is like a paranormal kind of story. and things start out kind of slow, build up. You see little things that's weird, and then it gets scarier and scarier until it gets like full blown like horror, and you don't have any way of defending yourself. You can just hide. So it has a hiding mechanic, kind of like a Clock Tower, games like that, where you can hide under desks or in closets and stuff like that. So I'll leave it there. But that's your setup. Don't watch the trailer because it'll give away a lot of some of your scares and stuff like that. And you don't want to, you don't want any of that stuff spoiled because there's some good ones, some jump stuff. But it's fun and it's totally free. And the guy's working on a sequel that, or like another version, I guess maybe. It's like several floors in this building. It's like kind of a big mapped out thing. I think a more elaborate storyline and all that. There's a story there too. I don't know if you got into that, but
nope, not yet.
Okay, yeah, it's cool.
I'm just trying to figure out why that game makes me so. Why, above all other horror experiences that I've played recently, like this really. Right from the get-go, like
very
grabbed
different.
Me.
The reason I described the setting is because that's a
maybe that's it. It's that it's so relatable.
Yeah, I don't know the guy, but I would assume that's the idea, right? Like,
I was going to say that another reason why I don't want to play this game on myself because I sit in front of a computer all day and I'm not necessarily doing anything, graphic design wise. But still, there's graphic design programs here, and there's long hallways and scary closets.
Oh yeah, that's not part of it. If you have an office job or you sit in front of a computer a lot, like late at night, you're already this is you. This is you. It's great. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great, and I got into this after. It's so stupid because I was playing this new Slender, which is great. Like it's the same game really, way better looking than the original Slender, 8 pages. Was that what they called it? Now it's The Arrival, but and I wussed out and I quit. It was just too much. I'm like I can't do this. It's too much. And then I start reading about other horror games, and I got this one and started playing that. I'm like, what? I would really like to punish myself. Why am I doing this? But yeah, nice. Yeah, I think that's about all I've been playing. That's it. That's all I got. Site updates. Justin, what's going on with HorribleNight.com?
We're currently working on a couple other podcast live stream show ideas.
What?
In the background. Ethan's working on one, and then we're gonna get Cola's finally adjusted to his Pacific Standard Time or his specific time zone, and so we're gonna get him back involved. But the timing's not really working out for our Tuesday shows, so there will probably be another evening of podcasting, if not additions to the Tuesday show. We're still figuring out the format there. And that ties into just figuring out our streaming schedule in general, getting more of our staff up on streaming, getting some community game nights. I think Cole and I's podcast is probably going to tie into that a little bit, because we've been still playing some more Planet Side 2 and that sort of thing, and I want to get more community games. So if you've got ideas for that, as far as games you want to play for a group, that are easily accessible. Let us know. We're definitely want to build up that game library, and Josh is also looking for some classic PC games to stream. He's got a pretty big library there, so hit us up on Facebook or on our site and let us know what you want to see played. We'll start taking requests and beef up our streaming schedule, and beyond that, still in the early planning stages of a Horrible Night Out in Indy, so I will pass along more info related to that. Most likely will be tied into Rock Band, so that's kind of behind the scenes. I want to do a Rock Band farewell.
Whoa,
yeah,
that game.
That's no more.
I used to have a bunch of plastic in my closet that I think hooks up to
all in my
that.
garage. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool, thanks. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks for joining us. Everybody in the chat, thanks. You guys are always awesome. Even if we're not directly responding to everything you say, we do read it, and it's awesome. So thanks for your input and loyalty. We do appreciate you. Justin, Ethan, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Josh.
We'll see you next week for The Horrible Show, and in 2 weeks for another Super Game Best Friends.
Woo! Booyah!
Bye.